Nah, nah, nah. Make them say, How's everybody doing, man? Uh, man. What's happening? We in this bitch. Whoosh, whoosh. Um, Great show for you guys tonight, man. Great show for you guys tonight, man. Yeah, man. A lot going on, man. A lot going on, man. A lot going on, man. There's a lot going on, man. Woo. Let me tell you, man. Let me tell you, man. Just in case you didn't know, man. Mm. Uh. Salute to everybody watching on Rumble, man. Salute to everybody watching on Rumble, man. Mm. Nah, nah, nah. Make them say, Make them say, I'm not Eric B, but I'm guaranteed to move this motherfucker crap. Salute to KFX, man, in the building. Looking forward to another stellar stream, man. Yeah, man. You know what time it is, man. You know what time it is, man. You know what it. You know what it is. Let's see. Trump gonna get arrested on Tuesday? They gonna lock Trump up on Tuesday. Trump getting bagged, man. Oh, shit. Oh. Salute to my man Nate Ways, man, up in the building. Our Nation Hall of Famer. Yeah, man. The best show. You better know. You better know. You better know. Our Nation News. Up in this bitch. What's up with you crazy ass glider women, man? What the hell wrong with this woman right here? why she do all that? Man? She ain't had to do all that, man. What the hell? Why she do that, man? What's wrong with these people, man? Shout out to Cool Breeze, man. Cool Breeze coming through like a cool breeze, man. And when it's hot outside, man. What's wrong with this woman, man? Let me get her off the screen before they say that. Yeah, salute to my man, man. My man from The Wire, man. He had a good role on The Wire, man. Forgot what his name was, man. He was the commander. He rose up the ranks. 60. I never knew he was only 15 years older than me. I thought this guy was he always had that old face. I would have thought he was fucking 20 years older than 25, 30 years older than me, man. This guy was only 15 years older than me, man. All this time, I thought this guy was like 90 or something. That motherfucker, this whole time, this motherfucker's only been 15 years older than me. So that means back in the Wire days, he was like 40. He was like 40 when he started the Wire, man. The hell? So the hell going on, man? I don't know what's going on, man. I'm confused, man. How this man been? Salute to my man, Scott. Hey, said the $5 challenge is now, bitches. Salute to my man TC, man. I almost watch only Ock Nation for good news and information plus commentary. Salute to you, TC, man. Yeah, man. We up in it. I didn't know this guy died, man. That guy been old forever, man. Yeah, some men die early. Y'all die old, man. Every time a white celebrity die, he'd be like 90 years old. Ain't Paul McCartney still alive, man? Michael Jackson and Prince both dead, but fucking goddamn Phil Collins and Paul McCartney and all the motherfuckers alive, man. Ain't that some shit? Some men do die early. You can't deny that, man. The stats say it too. We got the lowest life expectancy. It just is. It's a fact. But when you see celebrities, black celebrities, they always die young, considerably. 60 is young. 60 is young to you know what I'm saying. When you're like 60 is perceived as young. More states seek ban on trans women competing in women's sports. Experts insist the undeniable physical advantage can't be undone by gender affirming care. No, and it can't be undone. And you know, a big problem they're gonna have with that stuff if they keep doing it is that the trans women, called trans women, right? They're going to want to let the girls win sometime. Okay? So the trans girls gonna let, because this is how I would think. I'd be like, I would let the girls win sometime. Hit one if you feel me on that. Hit one if you feel. I let the girls win sometime, so y'all get off my case. I'd be like, look, she beat me, man. She beat me, man. It be like sometimes I win and sometimes I lose, man. I take it easy on the girls. Be like, oh, she beat me, y'all. Damn, good job, Christy. Good job, Caitlin. Good job, Maggie. Y'all beat me this time. I will only win the championships. I would let them win the fucking regular. What's it case? The state championship? Oh shit! Fuck that bitch. No more Mr. Nice Guy, man. They'll be like, they're gonna be like Akeisha, Aquanasia. Aquanasia struggled all year. She was very inconsistent all year, but she really turned it on when the playoffs came around. She's been unstoppable in the playoffs. Shit, man. I ain't even gonna lie to you, man. I would let them girls win sometime, man. I would let them girls win sometime, man. Just to just to make it look real, man. Just to make it look real, man. And then on them days when I knew I was gonna let the girls win, I would go straight to my sports bookie, man. I'd be like, hey man, look, man. give, give me $50,000 on Jill. Give me $50,000 on Jill tonight, man. I think Jill gonna win, man. Give me $50,000 on Jill. But yeah, man, listen, man. Listen, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm slick, man. I let the girls win sometime, man. Especially if y'all was acting like y'all was mad about it. Like, all right. In the next race, I'd be like, oh shit. I finished fourth. Shit. They beat me, man. And you know how dumb women are, right? Y'all know women are fucking morons to some shit. Women are very smart in certain shit. Women are very smart in certain shit. Anybody that's married knows that. They smart at fucking manipulating you and shit. And breaking you down and shit. But women are dumb as shit when it comes to regular common sense shit. So the girls would be celebrating like, yay, yay. The girls would never know because they would be thinking that they really won. They'd be celebrating this shit. I'd be like, bitch, wait till the playoffs. You just wait. Wait till the playoffs, man. When I get in the zone. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, man. Let's see what's going on with I tell you, man. You fucking gliders, man. Mm-mm-mm. Did I spell Scott with one T? I know I didn't spell Scott with one T. I spelled Scott with one T. Unfucking believable. Scott. I spell Scott with one T, man. Like he from Scotland, man. Let me see something, man. Let me fix that, man. I spell Scott with one T, man. Yeah, man. Hey, what's your face? Scorpion Squad, man. We're gonna need y'all to get on the job tonight, man. I'm gonna need the Scorpion Squad to get on their job tonight, man. Use your taser, man. Use your taser judiciously, man. Use your taser judiciously. Use your taser judiciously, man. Don't hesitate, man. Don't hesitate. Okay? Don't you hesitate for a second. Taser, taser, taser. Don't tase me, bro. Nah, motherfucker, you getting tased tonight. Muramas, Arc Nation Hall of Famer, he says the ICC put out an arrest warrant for President Putin over BS. I don't remember them doing the same thing to Bush and Obama. He said President Putin? You mean President Trump? My man said President Putin. Good luck arresting Putin, man. Trump supposed to get arrested, man, right? They're gonna arrest Trump, right? Holy shit. Oh my God, this is so sad. Grandma with dementia left the back door open, and brother and sister 18 months drowned. Why would you leave the you left the kids with a dementia, Graham? 18-month-old Lachlan and Lori at the bottom of a murky found at the bottom of a murky outdoor water on Thursday at the Oklahoma. Jenny, a stay-at-home mother who runs a bio boutique, lives at the property with her grandmother, 6 children, and husband Sonny, 42, a marketing executive. A relative of the family claimed that Jenny's grandmother, who has Alzheimer's, left the back door open, which allowed the twins to access the pool. I don't know about that one. That's crazy. What? Putin 70 is seen limping as he makes surprise visit to Crimea amid claims he is suffering health problems. Yeah, of course he going. Yeah, you. Oh wow, I didn't know that. They arresting Putin and Trump, man. Listen, man, let me tell y'all something, man. The left don't play. You know they got a left over there in Europe too, right? They got a left in Europe too, man. The liberals in Europe, man. The only country that ain't really liberal in Europe is Italy, man. They're the only one with like a conservative president, man. All the other countries in Europe are liberals, man, except for like Italy and of course Russia. He limping. He like, oh shit, y'all gonna lock up an old man? Y'all really gonna lock an old man up? Y'all fine? Y'all dirty shit. Y'all ain't shit. I'm all old and fucked up. He pulling the Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby tried that shit, man. Bill Cosby was like, I can't see it. Shit. Bill Cosby turned into Stevie Wonder, man. Oh shit. He tried that. He all of a sudden he can't. Oh, okay. I see it, man. I see. Somewhere some mammy saying, I bet they find a way to de-escalate when they arrest Putin. Yeah, man. Uh. Ain't nothing, ain't too much going on, man. Let me take y'all to Instagram, man. IG, man. IG, man. Fed up teacher quits and walks out on disrespectful students in the middle of class. I don't care if I don't get paid today. Okay.
Don't you say it. Sit down somewhere.
Well, I'll sit down somewhere. See, this is why. Yeah, I won't be back.
Oh, well.
I won't be back.
Hurt my feelings.
And people are laughing. Yeah, I'm gonna go. I don't even care if I don't get paid today. I'm just a stupid old white lady.
She said, I'm just a stupid old white lady. Yes, you are. You a stupid old white lady for trying to work at an inner city school with goddamn sun teens, man. You a fucking moron, man. You're a fucking moron, man. How the fuck are you working at an inner city school trying to help sun teens, man? The fuck? Listen, man. Here's the thing, though. You could be the best teacher, and it ain't gonna matter. They not gonna be able to get that shit, man. They not gonna be able to get that shit, man. You gonna go home losing confidence, like, man, I was a great teacher at the other school. I don't know what happened ever since I came to Martin Luther King Jr. High School, man. I lost my teaching touch. You ain't lose your teaching touch, man. It's something else going on, man. Trust me, you didn't lose your teaching touch, man. Think about how many times they called her a stupid white lady for her to internalize that shit.
That's all.
Oh, God, ain't no way I can start this.
Yeah, do whatever you want to do. I don't care.
She better hurry up and get out of there before they jump on her. Hey, listen, man. At this point right here, they're starting the energy in the room is starting to build. And if she don't get out of there soon, man, one of these dudes gonna jump on her, man. She better. She taking on long with these goddamn papers and shit. Leave them fucking papers behind, man. Before one of these fucking 6'6", 270-pound sun teens jump on your ass, man.
I'm gonna do it anyway.
Hey, walk.
I'm walking right out the door. I won't ever be.
You see how fast she knew. She felt the energy in the room. She started stepping. She ain't walked that fast in fucking 30 years, man.
Yeah.
Don't you say it. Sit down somewhere.
Well, I'll sit down somewhere. See, this is why. Yeah, Yeah, I won't be back. I won't be back.
Oh, well.
I won't be back.
Hurt my feelings.
Yeah, people are laughing. Yeah, I'm gonna go. I don't even care if I don't get paid today. I'm just a stupid old white lady. That's all.
Oh, ain't no way I can start this.
Yeah, do whatever you want to do. I don't care. I'm gonna do it anyway.
Hey, whoa.
I'm walking. I'm walking right out the door. I won't ever be back.
Who thinks that this is the who thinks that this is the problem right here? My bad, my bad. Who thinks that this is the problem, man? Who thinks that this is the problem right here, man? What this sister said, man. Who agrees with this? Hit one if you agree with this sister, man. Hit one if you agree with this sister right here, man. Yeah, man. All y'all hearing magically came back at the same time, man. Don't nobody agree with this sister, man. Hit one if you starting to see was hit one. Hit one of you. Let me drop the link, man. Let me drop the link, man. It was her mouth, man. That old white lady had too much mouth, man. Somebody should have hit her in her mouth, since that's where the problem coming from. Right, y'all? Since that's where the problem coming from, somebody should have hit her in her mouth, right? Right, y'all? Right, fisherman? The problem was her mouth, so somebody should have went up and knocked her in her mouth, right, fisherman?
Yeah, whatever you say, man.
I mean, it was the teacher's mouth, man. Her fault, man. What's up, Alexander Byrne?
I caught your live stream the other night on replay. That guy Arthur Brown, who was executed after 31 years. Remember that?
Yeah.
You're not old enough to remember, but do you remember the Crazy World of Arthur Brown?
Yeah.
You heard that song?
No, I don't remember that song, but go ahead, tell me.
Fire, I'll teach you to burn. Check it out, The Crazy World of Arthur Brown. But what you said about death row, it used to be a lot quicker in this country as well. I think it was they'd hang them after 3 Sundays, but it's ridiculous keeping the guy on death row for years and decades. The serial killers die on death row, you know. Lawrence Bitticle spent over 30 years on death row and died of natural causes.
Yeah,
if anyone deserved to die, it was him.
Right, man. You ain't never told no lies, man. That if 31 years on death row, my God, I mean, like, God damn, that's a lifetime. We do stories every day. These 17s are getting killed at 13 and shit and 12 and shit. And this motherfucker got 31. He got 30 years on the street and 31 years on death row. He lived longer than that actor from The Wire, man.
There's absolutely no reason for them to spend more than 2 years on death row. There's an automatic appeal, isn't there?
Yeah, man.
A couple of cases. So 2 years at the very outside. For a case where it's clear where you got a spree killer or serial killer or multiple deaths, loads of witnesses, loads of evidence, it's an insult to keep them on death row that long.
Yeah, man.
It's the anti-death lobby. You know, they make all this noise about the number of blacks sentenced to death, but from what I've seen, most of the families of black victims want the death penalty.
Yeah, facts. Let me get into this case, man. This guy, man. This black BLM activist from New Jersey, man. He got whacked out by the cops, man. Let's see what's going on.
Police say Najee Seabrooks had locked himself in a bathroom while experiencing a mental health crisis. Fox 5's Ashley Rodriguez watched the footage.
Who called the police on him? Who called the police on Najee, man? Was it a white supremacist? I mean, somebody called the police. If he locked himself in the bathroom with a knife, someone called the police on him.
Police say Najee Seabrooks had locked himself in a bathroom while experiencing a mental health crisis. Fox 5's Ashley Rodriguez watched the footage and joins us live from Patterson with details. Ashley.
Yeah, it wasn't just police officers. It was also Najee's mother. They spent hours trying to get him to come out of the bathroom. It's absolutely heartbreaking to watch. It's clear he was hurting, he was suicidal, and this body cam video shows just how tense these mental health crises really are. Take a look.
Why is you doing this, Najee? Najee, I'm your mother.
So his mother was scared. The mom was scared. And this looks like another girl, maybe a sister or something. The women in the house were terrified. So who did they call? The NFAC. And nobody was there at the NFAC offices. Then they called Black Lives Matter. And Black Lives Matter they didn't have enough staff, man. They understaffed now, man. Because, they spent their money on other things. So then they called the police, man. The police showed up. Boom. 20 seconds later. Where that nigga at? And there you go, man. Sisters always know how to who to call, man, when it going gets tough, man.
Take a look.
Why is you doing this, Najee? Najee, I'm your mother.
Excuse me.
Najee, stop this. I am your mother. Open the door.
The morning of March 3rd in Patterson, New Jersey started with 31-year-old Najee Seabrooks gathering knives from his family's kitchen and locking himself in the bathroom, claiming someone was trying to kill him. According to his family, they believed he had smoked something and was hallucinating and behaving.
Hold on, he smoked something. Listen, that weed that they smoke nowadays, man, that weed is too fucking good, man. I don't smoke weed no more because of that shit, man. The shit they got out now is too good. It's better than the best shit we ever had. It's better than the shit it's better than chocolate tie, goddamn, kind bud, better than all the little shit we used to have back in the day. What's the other shit? God damn, it was chocolate tie, hash, all the shit we had back in the they're Reggie. Today's Reggie, regular weed that you just get from a fucking Sunman in front of a carryout is better than anything we had back in the day.
Is that what they call skunk?
I don't know what they call it. They got like 1,000 names for this shit now.
No, skunk. It's very dangerous. It can do your brain in.
Yeah, I don't mess around with that shit, man. He could have been smoking some regular weed and had a fucking, or he could have been smoking some K2, some goddamn synthetic weed, or some PCP. Who knows what this guy was smoking? But you know,
Started with 31-year-old Najee Seabrooks gathering knives from his family's kitchen and locking himself in the bathroom, claiming someone was trying to kill him. According to his family, they believed he had smoked something and was hallucinating and behaving erratically.
I need help, man.
You have to tell me what happened. What's going on?
In newly released audio and police body camera recordings, the New Jersey AG is hoping to clarify exactly what led up to Patterson police opening fire on the man in crisis, killing him after he called them for help.
Come on now, I'm going to take you out. You're going to go to the first floor. You're going to see your mom, man. Nothing's going to happen. Trust me.
Officers arrived just before 8 a.m. with crisis negotiators, an emergency response team, and
all this shit to keep a Southern man from killing themselves. And then we got to hear about how racist this country is. Wouldn't they just let him kill himself? If this country was so racist, they would have just let him kill himself. Right?
You know the most notorious murders happened in Patterson, New Jersey?
Oh, yeah?
Hurricane Carter.
Oh, Hurricane Carter's from Patterson, New Jersey. I didn't know that.
Yeah, guilty as fuck.
Yeah, he tricked you white people though. Nigga, some people know how to trick y'all white people into this. y'all white people, y'all stupid as shit, man. Let me go.
The fire department. Seabrooks refused to come out, telling them he had 2 knives and a gun.
Just drop the knife, man. Please, drop the knife, man. He's trying to help you.
2 hours later, police say there was a large...
2 hours later? 2 hours of this shit? All these resources, negotiators, people on the scene. There's probably a bunch of cops outside too. In the hallway, downstairs. Just so this Southern man don't fucking kill himself, man. That's a lot to keep a Southern man who want to kill himself. You got a chance to get rid of a Southern man, racist America. I can hear somewhere some sister saying, nah, see, they want to do it. That's what this is about. They want to have the pleasure of doing it.
Crash, and water started flooding the bathroom. Seabrooks was cutting himself and bleeding. They tried to break down the door, pleading with Seabrooks to no avail, even using projectiles to attempt to subdue him.
He's burning his shirt. Still got a knife on his hand.
Okay, what's the problem? They're literally going to call y'all racist in 10 minutes. In 10 minutes, they're going to be calling you racist for what you do. Why didn't y'all just let him take himself out?
I should have left him. He probably would have come out eventually.
Yeah, you glotters, man. I'm telling you, man.
I mean, there's no hostage, so what's just leave him be.
I just don't understand y'all, man. Like, I just don't. Y'all ain't fit for the world stage, man. The world gonna leave y'all behind, man.
He's starting a fire.
4 hours later, body camera shows Seabrooks lunge at the officers. They say while holding a...
4 hours after they've been there, they got there. They got there. They got there. They spent 2 hours fucking talking to him. Then they said 4 hours after that. So that's a total of 6. At least they were there for at least 6 hours. Jesus Christ.
Knife, and 2 officers opened fire.
Nah, come on. He's burning his shirt. Still got a knife on his hand. He's starting a fire.
4 hours later, body camera shows Seabrooks lunge at the officers. They say while holding a knife, and 2 officers opened fire.
Naj, come on, man. Let's take you to your mom. All right? Let her talk to you. All right? I'm sure she don't want to see you like this. Drop it.
I'm not sure why the emergency response team was called, where there's full SWAT gear pointing guns at.
And if they hadn't, it'd have been like, why didn't I'm not sure why the emergency response team didn't come. I mean, if he was white, they would have came and tried to help save his life. There's no winning. There is no winning. Like, when are y'all gonna fucking figure this out, man? It's literally like watching somebody that stutter. You ever watch somebody stutter, try to talk, and you know what they about to say, and they're like, did you see the you like game? The game? Yeah, I saw the game. And it's like, spit it out, but it's like y'all watching y'all riders, it's like, God damn, man. You almost got it, but then y'all just start. Y'all motherfuckers, man. There's no winning. You can't win. What's up, Black Gen Z, man? Black Gen Z in the building.
What up? What up? Hey, yeah, somebody laced his shit with PCP.
Oh, you heard that?
Nah, I was just.
Okay. yeah. But what do you think about, like, they spent 6 hours in there trying to keep him from killing himself, only to be called a racist?
Yeah, that nigga retarded, bro. He like, I don't even know why the hell he was acting so crazy. He got off that shit and it was OV.
Yeah, man. I just don't understand, man. I'm NYC Glider, man. What's up, man?
Hey, sorry about that. I was finding there's an article about a politician that represents East New York, and New York, absolutely the worst garbage neighborhood in the entire city, and he's bragging about how they got less white people in the neighborhood this year than last year.
We'll put it in the back chat, man.
I will, man. And this guy obviously was
That's
smoking
insane.
And this guy was obviously smoking the choicest stuff, man.
Yeah, man. What's up, your future president? What's happening, man? All right, man. Let me this system, man. Why did they have all these units there? Because
Niggas in the bathroom barricading himself with knives. Like, what the fuck?
And they were trying to save him from killing himself, but he is an activist. This guy's known in the community. This isn't just.
Hey, what's up? I'm sorry about that.
All right, man, what's up?
Anybody who want to kill himself gonna fucking do it.
Hey,
I would have told him shit or get off the pot.
Yeah, no solution. I would just left out of there. Like, hey, do what you do, man. If you walk out of here alive, you walk out here alive.
Yeah, I'd have told his dumbass to shit or get off the pot. Fuck out of here.
Gen Z, are you still
I'm not sure
streaming?
why the emergency response team was called, where there's full SWAT gear pointing guns at the door.
The Patterson Healing Collective, a group Seabrooks worked with as a violence intervention specialist and who was a part of a protest against the police shooting, says.
Oh, so he was a violence interrupter, man.
Okay. Damn, they should have called himself. He should have called himself to mediate the situation.
Yeah, his own program failed him.
Is right, because I think he was on something.
Are you still streaming?
Yeah, I got daily uploads every day at 6:30.
You do live stream?
I don't live stream on Black Gen Z because they be bullshitting. They be taking down every live I put up.
Wow. It's crazy.
What about Rumble?
Niggas don't be following me to Rumble, so it's like if I go live on Rumble, I'll have like one viewer.
Post in
but
your
it's cool
community.
though.
You gotta put a post in your community tab that you're gonna be on Rumble.
Word, yeah, I be doing that, but it's cool though.
Oh, okay. Yeah, man. But this guy, man, this young guy, man, he was somebody, man, in the community, man. He wasn't just a nobody. So it's like they tried to save him, man. They tried, man.
A group Seabrooks worked with as a violence intervention specialist and who was a part of a protest against the police shooting, says he asked for their help that morning, but police told them not to intervene.
And I think one thing that this whole situation shows is that
he did ask for their help. Now here's the thing: if he would have, what if they would have went in there? He came out with a knife and like stabbed her in the fucking throat. She dead and shit. Then the police, it would have been on. That would have been on the police too. Why did y'all let them? You should have known better. Why did you let them go in? Like, you know, it's no winning, man. It's no winning. There's no win. You're gonna lose every time.
Why the fuck would you call the police when you're high?
I mean, because he was.
It happens. It happens.
That's exactly when you call the police, when you're high and out of control.
Yeah. Did you hear the song Because I Got High? Isn't that a verse in that song? I forgot. I think that's the third verse.
I've heard that song, but I don't know it word for word.
Yeah. Yeah, this is I don't know. There's no wins, man.
That were assigned to that case on that day are not equipped to handle mental health.
It's an ongoing investigation, but as far as what I've read so far, it looks like the officers did everything they could to prevent a tragic outcome.
That was racist. That was racist.
He just fucked up his re-election bid just with that one statement, man. Dang.
So what they expect to occur?
Black men.
So what do they expect to occur? Psychiatrists to come to every
right.
They don't know what they expect. They just know they expect it to be perfect because white people are doing it. And white people are perfect, man. I'm telling you, we tell white people what we think about them all the time.
White people get high too.
we think white people are perfect. We think all your systems should function at 100% fucking success rate, man. When gliders create a system and that shit fail, we be like, what? What the fuck? Hold on, time out, man. Nah, man, that's the fuck. We think highly of you guys, man.
Ongoing investigation, but as far as what I've read so far, it looks like the officers did everything they could to prevent a tragic outcome.
Suspend judgment, let the investigation play out, and keep Najee's family, especially his mother, in your prayers. In Patterson, Ashley Rodriguez, Fox 5 News.
Some ladies be like, why didn't they shoot him in the leg or an arm?
No, they wanted so badly to legalize all this weed and legalize everything and not arrest any more dealers and everything. So now they created laws where they can't even arrest the people illegally selling weed anymore. The weed is laced with all kinds of crazy shit. I mean, insane stuff in there.
Yeah.
And then the guy smokes it, goes nuts, and runs out and tries it, with a knife,
Yep.
Somebody said the police cured his mental illness.
Yeah, they sure did, man. They sure did, but
People secure Patterson, they're not from here. Brother Najee, Brother Nah was a symbol for our city. He was a prime example of who we all should be.
Tweaker?
He loved everybody. There's not a thing that Brother Nah wouldn't do for somebody. Rain, hell, or snow. Brother Nah was a symbol, man, of all of us. None of us was perfect. But Brother Nah showed every day he gonna try. Tried his best. And it's disheartening that when you put in the work, no matter what you do.
Look at what happens when you get killed by police, even if you're locked in a bathroom, high as shit off of drugs, and come out the bathroom swinging a knife at them.
Yeah, this shit is fucking crazy.
It's like crazy.
Wasn't there a 15-year-old killed the other week? Like, what the fuck?
Oh, Patterson's dangerous. Patterson is serious. Like, it is serious. Like, only thing different is population size. They just don't have the population to put stats up like the other cities. But per capita, whoo, they serious, Jack. Serious city, man. I knew a cat from Patterson.
That's where Fetty walked from.
He was a hustler too. This cat was a hustler too. I had no idea he was a hustler. Nicest guy in the world. I was just a Brito guy. I was just, he lived next door to my peoples. And one day they came in with like a fucking gazillion cops, kicked the door the whole time he was running a goddamn major operation. I was like, God damn.
Damn.
I mean, we used to sit out on the porch and smoke cigarettes. I had no idea. No clue. I mean, you see traffic and whatnot.
He was good.
I had no clue. I just thought it was, I see a little bit of traffic, but nothing major. But I'm like, God, listen. And that cat was from Patterson, man. He was a serious fucking dealer, man.
They still take us out. Justice for Najee! Justice for Najee! Justice for Najee! Justice for Najee! Justice for Najee!
You're nothing. If a cop doesn't kill you, your life is meaningless, man. I mean, if this cat had gotten killed, had a fucking son, man, had one of them fucking thugs he was trying to help in the streets, he was trying to intervene or interrupt some violence, and that thug got mad and shot his ass, it wouldn't be 5 people out there.
Yeah.
It shit is just crazy, man. Fucking crazy, man.
The police community tension in Patterson is escalating. Advocates and friends of Najee Seabrooks, the 31-year-old violence intervention specialist shot and killed by police last week, are continuing their calls for reform. This weekend, leading a protest through the city, rallying in front of a restaurant owned by one of the officers involved, ending at police headquarters. They're demanding the release of body cam footage from the March 3rd incident and criminal charges against the officers. Late today, one of the state's leading social justice.
If you sat in that hallway for 6 hours pleading with this guy not to kill himself,
then you get charged. Fuck.
Wow, that's crazy.
I mean, let me get this straight. He's a violence interrupter who smoked some insane, wacky weed, came running out with a giant knife, swinging at cops.
Yeah, I don't know.
I
don't know what type of weed. Yeah, I don't know what type of weed to make him do that. It had to be something else.
K2, man.
Yeah, it had to be something.
That's synthetic shit, man.
Justice organizations officially requested the federal Justice Department to intervene and investigate. Senior political correspondent David Cruz reports.
We love you, Najee! We love you, Najee!
The sound
because you got killed by a cop
from the street is loud and clear.
We love you, Najee! We love you, Najee! They just don't care about black people. They don't value our lives.
Shit.
They don't recognize us as human beings, as their brother, as their sister, as someone that deserves compassion and deserves patience.
They try
That's
for 6 hours.
crazy.
Telling themselves.
Black Lives Matter.
You know, getting the suicide calls are just as dangerous as the domestic violence. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That guy's got a weapon in his hand. He's holding it to himself. He could just turn it around and hold it to you. And that's
what he did. That's what he did.
Yeah, exactly. So those guys were. I mean, think of the restraint. They're probably out there. There was actually a suicide call in my building, and they showed up. They showed up in full body armor with the battering rams and sledgehammers, and luckily they were able to talk the guy down. You know,
I think, man, fuck that. We're paying for that. For some, listen, I've seen that at my building too. I've seen that shit too, man. I've seen it, and the guy I knew, the guy who was crazy, I knew him, and we spoke all the time in the computer lab. We weren't friends, but every time we was in the computer lab, we'd talk. And then one day, this guy just went crazy. And he was out front acting crazy. And they like surrounded him, built a perimeter around him and shit. And it was like, it was just like all this for just somebody acting like a jackass, man. We pay for this shit. It's just insane, man.
Right. Yeah. So what about this solution right here? The cops showing up there, shooting him with a
tranquilizer like an elephant. Yeah, man. With them elephant dart, put a tag on his ear and let him wake him up and let him run back into the wild.
and every son, man, and anybody acts up, just the cops just show up and shoot him in the tranquilizer, and they wake up in jail.
If he did that, they would. If they did that, they'd be like, "Oh, they treat us like animals. They tranquilizing us like an animal."
Exactly. Or they would be saying, "What's in the tranquilizer?" They putting stuff in the tranquilizer that's gonna kill black people, or some shit like that. Or they gonna say, they gonna some really smart white lady in the government gonna look at the data and say, of the 700 times tranquilizers were deployed, 650 times there was a person of color, and it's gonna be like, oh shit, and then that shit gonna be over with. Salute to Mahana Confidential. My city, you gotta love it. Oh yeah, we got Patterson. If Patterson's in the building, man, Patterson, stand up, man. Throw up your sevens if you from Patterson, man.
You better appreciate the fact that this family wants justice and not revenge. Right now, they're seeking justice.
Shit.
If they don't get justice, they're gonna seek revenge.
Oh shit.
And that's when things
What?
gonna go to a whole nother level.
Anger
That's a
is
fucking
growing in
threat.
Patterson, and the tone of them.
They called. The mom was there begging him to come out.
The cops act. I mean, the cops.
Yeah, that's what they do.
No, but the cops actually protected the mom. If the cops hadn't have been there,
oh yeah, she wouldn't have been begging him to come out. She'd have been like, stay in there.
But that's what they do. They call them and just sit back, and as soon as the cops, apprehend them or something like that, they want to start screaming and all that.
She had the GoFundMe typed up, and she was just waiting for them to shoot. She was gonna click publish.
that's how they cash in. They said, "Uh-oh, he's acting crazy tonight. Let's call the cops." And
She had the phone. She had the phone in one hand, and she was looking over the cop's shoulder. She's like, "Oh, might want to shoot him. Better shoot him. Publish."
I'm waiting for the autopsy though.
For what? What do you want the autopsy for? You just
see what he was off of.
Oh,
they're gonna get the same guy who did the Tyree Nichols independent autopsy and just say, nah, he was totally normal, and the cops just shot him for fun.
Nah, I don't know if that's gonna work with this one. This guy was
nigga was tweaked out.
Demonstrations peaceful up to this point is growing in intensity. Demonstrators noted the expressions of concern over the shooting that wounded a state trooper in the city the day before the Seabrook standoff, prompting the local congressman to tweet that he was rushing home from Washington out of concern for his family, and including a visit to Patterson from the state's attorney general, ironically, on the same day Najee Seabrooks was shot and killed.
These troopers represent the absolute best in law enforcement.
What is equally troubling, say an increasing number of activists, is the silence from elected officials, including the Legislative Black Caucus, whose chair, Assemblymember Shavonda Sumter, represents Patterson.
Shavonda Sumter, you in trouble too. Damn, they going after everybody. Yeah. This is sad, man. I mean, like, this is like watching like 2-year-olds, or no, this is like watching like maybe I say 10-year-olds try to like pretend to be adults.
Represents Patterson. Michael Jackson is a councilman and critic of the city's administration. He suggests that elected officials have more of an interest in maintaining the status quo.
There's a great deal of money that comes into Patterson that people kind of, fall asleep on. So various members of the legislative body, whether it's the caucus or not, can rally a short number of votes and maintain their posture and position without, invoking a great deal of change. That's my personal feeling on why people aren't, doing more when it comes to the wrongdoings of Patterson.
Yannick Wood of the New Jersey Institute for Social Justice, which sent a letter today to the Justice Department calling for federal intervention into the Patterson PD, wouldn't speak to that specifically, but said, regardless of who's saying or not saying anything publicly, the state-funded crisis interventionists should have been allowed to help on that day.
I think it's a very disturbing situation because on one hand, members of the government recognize the need for violence intervention, but then local Patterson police relegated them to almost being like second-class partners.
We didn't hear back from Assemblymember Sumter today, leaving Mayor Andre Saya as the city's lone elected official answering questions about this. And his answer, repeated at several unrelated press events over the past week, has remained the same.
I've repeatedly requested that the Attorney General release any body camera footage. And
Okay, so this was all before. I just, man, y'all are exhausted, man. Y'all bear people out, man. Like, y'all literally bear people out.
Good evening, and thanks for joining us this Friday night. I'm Raven Santana.
This is yesterday.
In for Brianna Venozzi. New developments tonight. Police body camera footage and 911 calls have been released by the state attorney general's office. This after Patterson police shot and killed Najee Seabrooks, who was having a mental health crisis. The video is graphic and shows police standing outside his apartment bathroom in a standoff, where in his final moments, officers were heard asking him to put down the knives. After an almost 5-hour standoff, Seabrooks was shot and killed when he emerged from the bathroom with a knife. The tapes were released as protesters gathered to demand justice for their friend and neighbor and member of the Patterson Healing Collective. No comment today from the mayor of Patterson, who has been calling for their release. But the Attorney General's office ensuring family and friends that there is an investigation into the shooting underway. Advocates want the officers involved fired and sent to jail. Melissa Rose Cooper reports.
How much trauma? How much racist lynching trauma must Black people have to take?
Tensions boiling in Patterson as the community continues to demand justice for Najee Seabrooks.
Put the knives on the floor, Naj. Nobody's gonna shoot you, man. Nobody's gonna shoot you. All right.
The protest gathering yesterday as the state attorney general's office released the body cam footage showing the hours-long standoff between Seabrooks and police after responding to a call of someone in distress. Here you can see an officer holding up a gun while telling Seabrooks to drop a knife and come out the bathroom.
You're going to hear that he had a knife. But what you don't do in a mental health crisis, you do not bring a gun to a knife fight.
Police arrived.
What?
You bring a knife to a knife fight, guys. Come on, use your fucking brains.
Yeah, didn't you know the cops have to they have to do like the whole karate kung fu knife fight thing, man, with them? You know, like
and the cop lied. He should have said, if you come out swinging your knife, somebody's gonna shoot you.
Yeah.
Well, no. The problem is they waited 6 hours. Why couldn't they have waited 7 hours?
Yeah, I mean, it's just maddening, man.
They should have took one of those violence interrupter volunteers and threw him in that fucking bathroom and closed the door.
No, but he's the violence interrupter.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, man, they should have sent Inigo Montoya, man, from The Princess Bride, man. Maybe he could have had a sword fight with that guy, man.
No, the thing is, like, you see how much that guy was yelling, like in the little scene just before this, man. He senses the amount of money that he can get for his little like NGO, and for this, I mean, that's a couple milli right there for him. You know what I mean? This is a cash infusion for all these people.
He's about to get out of the hood.
Yeah, man, this is maddening. I just don't understand how you gliders, like, these people are gonna eventually have more power than you and run the country.
That's why I put the those links in the back chat for you, because you got to see what's going on in New York with this thing in New York State. But
these people are not the problem. They're not the problem. You've got millions of aliens, poor people crossing the border into America now. That's going to lower the standard of living for all of you.
Yeah, those people are not as fucking annoying as these people.
Well, blacks will suffer more because there's a lot of working class and lower class.
No matter how blacks suffer, they're gonna blame it on white people. So don't worry.
With some degree of justification here, because who's ruling the country? It's being done deliberately. They destroy the country.
Police arrived to the apartment where Seabrooks had barricaded himself in a room just before 8 a.m. on March 3rd.
Najee, it's Patterson Police. What's up? What's your name? Vicky, it's Ramos. Officer.
Seabrooks can be heard responding to the officer, but he seems to question whether they are there to really help.
It's a emergency. People are trying to kill you.
Minutes later, another officer can be heard asking him to come out on his own free will or saying they'll have to take a different route.
Okay, I'm as clear as a glass of water. I'm not here to play games with you.
A woman who says she's his mother also tries to get Seabrooks to come out, but no luck.
Why are you doing this, Najee? Najee, I'm your mother.
Seabrooks' mother eventually tells an officer that her son works for the Patterson Healing Collective. Members of the organization are trained in crisis intervention tactics, but according to activists, they weren't allowed access or to help.
He texted them and asked them to be there. They were there. They asked, the police knows them. They have de-escalated situations together. This was not unknown quantity. All they had to do was let them talk to Najee.
We will not broadcast the gruesome shooting, but according to the Attorney General's office, 2 officers fired their guns after Seabrooks lunged at them with a knife. The body cam footage shows him being treated on the scene before he was taken to the hospital and pronounced dead. Community leaders stand firm Seabrooks' death could have been avoided.
He should have never came out in a body bag or came out on a stretcher in handcuffs. He should have came out hugging the members of the Patterson Healing Collective.
Well, that's what he was trying to do. He was trying to hug him with that knife.
This shit is insane, man.
Who was out there since the very beginning.
I mean, in my wildest dreams, he would have come out slicing and dicing those guys, man. In my wildest dreams, cops would have stepped back and let him come out slicing and dicing.
Man, this is if he texted him, he should have called them and talked to them on the phone. The Patterson Healing Collective. What did they text back, man? Like, I mean, fuck.
The mother, she must have known them, right? The mother must have known them. He was living in his mom's house.
Yeah, man. The activists were still living with moms, man.
The resource was there, and the Patterson Police Department ignored it.
Now loved ones and members of the community are calling for a federal investigation, citing a history of misconduct by Patterson police.
Look at this guy right here, damn. He really serious. This motherfucker right here is serious as shit. Look.
Federal investigation, citing a history of misconduct by Patterson police.
There has been incidents like police shooting, fatal shooting had happened previously in city of Patterson. So this is a concern for the city.
A spokesperson from the U.S. Attorney's Office responded saying, while the U.S. Attorney's Office does not comment on individual investigations, the office is strongly committed to the enforcement of civil rights, including constitutional policing practices.
A Patterson police officer shot Khalif Cooper, who was unarmed in the back and now is paralyzed.
Damn.
A Patterson police officer.
He wasn't unarmed. We did that story. That's the cat who was running down the street with the gun. We did the Khalif Cooper. We did the Khalif Cooper story.
Back and now is paralyzed.
Damn.
A Patterson police officer shot and killed Thelonious McKnight, who was unarmed.
Damn.
And all
are they saying shame?
Yeah, all these dudes out here would rob this guy, man. If he was walking down here blocking names.
Patterson police beat and killed Jameek Lowry while he was in police custody during a medical emergency.
Shame.
Don't tell me that these aren't patterns. Don't tell me that these aren't practices.
The Attorney General's office confirms the Office of Public Integrity and Accountability is investigating the shooting. Loved ones and community advocates say the only justice they want to see is the police officers who shot Seabrooks fired and sent to jail, holding officers accountable so no one else.
Damn, they want the people who sat there. Those people seem like nice, good, hard-working, caring people that were there for 6 hours pleading with him not to kill himself. Now all these motherfuckers want them fired and sit.
I mean, that was probably suicide by cop as it was anyway. I mean, think about it, right?
Shit.
I think the
His
guy was
life
just
has to
high
be
as
taken
shit.
too soon. For NJ Spotlight News, I'm Melissa Rose Cooper.
I'm telling you, man. I just don't understand.
I really don't think that was some thought out suicide by cop plan. I just think he was fucking high on PCP, and when you're on that shit, you tend to overheat. So that would explain why he was stripping his clothes off.
Oh, he had
and
he had been
trying to-
done. He had been done with smoke. If they were out there for, if they were really there for 6 hours, he was coming down. He was down. He was like depressed. He got, wow, man, look what I did to myself. Let me go end this.
Well, I mean, from what the people are saying, if you read between the lines, the Patterson Healing Collective, those people, this is not some unusual shit. You know what I'm saying? This is
This is him. This is what he does.
If you read between the lines from what they were saying, it seemed like they have these problems with this guy all the time, and it just is what it is. And this time, they can't believe he died because he always does this and never dies. And this time he died, and they want to know why. In their mind, that's probably their thinking. Like, he always does this shit.
Well,
why do you have to die this time?
Look, they want. In New York, they're losing 100 cops a month at this point, right? Retiring and quitting. That's a lot. If they prosecute these cops who hung out there for 6 hours, they're not going to have a police force over there in Patterson by the end of the year.
Yeah, I mean, it's bad over in Patterson, and there are going to be a lot of people going to die because of that. A lot of people going to die because of that. Let's see, Scotty, man. Come on, Scotty.
Just because they're high profile, I think maybe you should put the handcuffs on.
Well, let Scotty go.
But it wasn't. It wasn't. I'm very disappointed that somebody did not do that intentionally. It would have been one for the ages. I thought it was a good hack, but we'll take it as a good coincidence. Well, you probably know the big story is about the possibility that has been leaked that this Alvin Bragg Manhattan DA is going to indict and arrest Trump on Tuesday, maybe. And the news is reporting that, they're talking about whether he'll be handcuffed. Now, I'm going to agree with Sebastian Gorka, who I just heard him on the Spaces call, say that if you think that somebody who got 72 million votes is going to be handcuffed in front of the public, you're crazy. I would like to believe that's true. But this might be the only situation in which Trump's own lawyers would argue, go ahead and handcuff him. You want to be safe. No, we don't think it's necessary. Oh, I don't know. He's our client and he can be unpredictable. You ought to put those handcuffs on. No, I don't think it's necessary in this case. Well,
he thinks that if they handcuff Trump, that'll be good for Trump. What do y'all think about that?
Trump is a crime victim. If that had happened in the UK, that woman had gone to Trump's lawyer and said, pay me 130 grand or I'll spill this story to the police, to the press. He'd have found the police and have arrested for extortion. And they're blaming him for it. This is outrageous.
Well, I heard Dershowitz explain it. He said, first of all, the main crime, the statute of limitations has run out on it. And he said what they're trying to do, they're trying to conflate it with a federal offense. And the Manhattan DA cannot cannot indict anybody on a federal offense. The best he could do would be on state charges. So they're trying to even figure out what the charges would be. But then again, they can trump up, pardon the pun. They could trump up anything they want to in a grand jury, and he could do, and I wouldn't put it past Bragg. I mean, he lets killers go.
Definitely.
I think the law treats everybody the same, doesn't it? Aren't you supposed to be representing the president? Well, yes, but more importantly, I represent the legal system. And I don't think people should be treated differently just because they're high profile. I think maybe you should put the handcuffs on. Maybe you should. If he gets handcuffed, he's your next president. What do you think? If he gets handcuffed, he's your next president. Yeah. I hate to say it, but I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it.
I think that I don't agree with this. I think Democrats and liberals play the game so much better and so much dirtier and so much harder than conservatives or Republicans, whatever you call yourselves, that I don't think conservatives can compete with this shit. If this don't work, right? Say this attempt to like get him disqualify him from running for president don't work. They're gonna try something else. And then if that don't work, they're gonna try something else. And conservatives are like nice and shit. They're like, we're above all of that. All of this shenanigans, we're above all of this. We do things the right way. And they're just gonna get their fucking asses kicked. No way Republicans take the White House in 2024. No fucking way.
I'm afraid Trump is a situation like the Teflon pan, your Teflon frying pan you have at home, right? When you first get it, nothing sticks to that thing. But after a while, it gets a gouge in it, it gets a scrape in it, and then the shit starts to stick. And if you throw enough shit at any wall long enough, it's gonna stick.
Yeah, but it's not even about something sticking, really, for sticking for real. I get what you're saying. I definitely understand what you're saying. They run the FBI, they run Hollywood, they run the government from the executive branch, they run the Supreme Court, they run Congress, they run the fucking media, CNN and MSNBC,
Wall Street.
They run Wall Street. They run, even though Elon Musk got Twitter, he don't have TikTok, he don't have Facebook, he don't have fucking Twitter, whatever, YouTube. They run social media. They're going to fucking play dirty, and you're gonna have like fucking conservatives talking about some. Oh my god, we want to stoop to this level. This fucking dirty games they're playing, we're above that, and you're gonna get your fucking asses kicked.
Well, you know Glenn Lowry.
Yeah, I know Glenn Lowry. Yes.
Okay,
very
so
intelligent, very smartest black man probably I've ever seen. No bullshit.
well, he said that he can't imagine gliders taking it much longer, and that when you wake them up, it's going to be bad news. That's what he said. It's going to be really
and I
bad
respect
news.
that. And you know what? I respect Glenn Lowry, but I don't know if Glenn Lowry watches my show. And here's the thing, though, when I say that, Glenn Lowry is extremely intelligent. But if you watch this show every night, you know that in every little city, in every little county, in every little crevice we go to, gliders are bending over and spreading it. It's fucking bad, man. And everywhere we go. And that's kind of like literally, like, it's one thing to have a wart. It's another thing to like have like goddamn fucking metastasized cancer in fucking 3/4 of your body and shit. This shit is deep, man. Gliders are literally like to undo the mentality that gliders have now. It's gonna take a fucking miracle, man.
Well, they truly are brainwashed, like a cult. It's the same thing.
Yeah, man. Everywhere we go.
I'll bet
Maine.
you.
Did you see the episode on Maine the other night?
No, I didn't see that. No.
Maine is done. You take Maine, stick a fork in it, finito. It's
Maine,
over.
Maine is done, really.
If you're
Damn.
looking, anybody who saw the episode the other day, hit one if you agree with me that Maine it's a wrap. Maine is done.
I told you they were going to do that. Everywhere there's a majority glider state, Juice Crew is working day and night to make sure that shit changes.
Yeah,
in the State Department.
Maine is done. Hold it down. Let me get some water, man.
Snack run.
Where's he gone?
To get a snack or something to drink. He said something to drink, but I imagine there's going to be a nibble.
Black GNT, can we have a hangout sometime, you and me?
Where are you at?
Can we do it on YouTube?
What you talking about? Like on a live stream?
Yeah, he's in fucking England, bud.
I wanted to, at some point, you, me, and Act to speak to get together, but he's always online too late for me.
Yeah. I mean, shit, I'm down. Just let me know in advance.
Yeah. I mean, I appreciate where it's coming from. The problem is it's not a black problem. It's a red problem. And it isn't as simple as Juice Crew either. It's a lot, it's what's going on is
you guys would all be, you should go into the back chat while we have a chance and click on that New York Post article that I pasted in there.
Oh yeah,
it is crazy.
Is it? Hold on.
I also clicked on
the progressive New York polls race bait against white people.
Exactly.
They are insane. They're totally insane. But it's worse than that, They're coming for your kids now.
Who is they explicitly?
It's a combination of the left and big capital, It's
okay. So who are you putting handcuffs on?
I would put handcuffs on Hillary Clinton to start with because she broke the Espionage Act. If Trump had done that, he'd still be president.
Okay, man.
No, seriously. Seriously. The whole big money.
That's one snake that will never be held to account.
Yeah. It's OV. Didn't they just torture somebody? They just killed a journalist or some shit.
Oh, yeah,
recently.
There's lots of dead people surrounding that family.
Good evening.
No more fucking dead
Good
people.
evening, June. What's up, June?
How are y'all doing tonight?
Everything's cool, man. What's going on? What do you think about well, you already know what you think about it. Well, no, do we know? Because what did he just say? He said Glenn Lowry, the great economist, black economist, said that gliders aren't going to put up with this stuff for too much longer. What do you think about that?
I think that's true. I definitely think that's true. But I wanted to chime in on the they that y'all have been speaking about. I think the British guy said something about big capital and liberal, and it's not so much the Juice Crew, but I have to say this: that who do you think puts out the propaganda that turned those people into liberals? Who do you think big capital is? It's not, Epstein, Weinstein. It's not a Mormon problem. It's not a Baptist problem.
Salute to Deluxe 247, aka Real MVP, aka Cal Ripken, coming through once again. Go ahead.
All right, sorry about that, but yeah, that's who. When cultural Marxism made its way into the United States from Frankfurt, and whatever it was. Sorry, I'm outside. That when it seeped into the United States through the colleges back in the 20s and 30s. That's who is behind it. That's why women's rights, good God Almighty, what is it called? The civil rights campaigns. It's all pushed. If you look into it, into everything that has destroyed Western society, you can trace it back to one race of people. It's not gliders. It's not sun people. It's not hombritos. It's the
Okay.
enemies of humanity.
Okay,
So
we're
that's
gonna. Are you single? Because we got somebody on the panel. We think you would be a great couple with. You make you and this guy would make a great great couple. Are you single?
no, I'm not
Oh
actually.
shit! Wow, damn it. Salute the Hats 11. He says, just when I thought I heard everything, I once again am baffled by the Sun Man saying you do not bring a gun to a knife fight. Ak, you are right. There are no solutions. Yeah, man, none, man, not a one.
Can I just address that Jewish thing again? If you look back to the 1940s, they controlled everything. They controlled the New York Post. They controlled all Hollywood. They don't anymore. So what's
Yes.
no. Do they control?
Can you prove?
No, they still control Hollywood,
Yeah,
bro.
dude, you're talking mad shit, British bitch. Like you really are full of shit,
Not
dude.
the way they used to. It's ideology. That's the problem.
No,
Well,
no,
who made the ideology?
The mind virus.
It is a mind virus. The mind
who
virus
made
was,
it though? Who is Karl Marx? What ethnicity was he?
Karl Marx was the bloke who wrote Ramsgate is full of Jews and fleas. It's not a racial thing.
Yes, it is.
Karl
Yes,
Marx was
it
the son.
is.
Karl Marx was the son of rabbis.
And
what about Trotsky?
Jinx.
Trotsky was murdered by a communist, wasn't he? Stalin.
Yeah, Stalin wasn't Juice Crew though.
Precisely. So
the Jews created the Soviet Union, though. You cannot sit here and deny that shit.
Great exaggeration.
80% of the Bolshevik.
No, that's lies as well.
No, it is not.
No,
I can back. I
You
can
are
back
lying.
this up.
So
Are you Jewish?
No, I'm not. Do you believe the protocols of Zion as well?
No,
I don't have to believe in the protocols of Zion.
it's still real.
The Juice Crew said it was a forgery. They didn't say that it was not true. They said it was forged.
Semantic games.
Regardless, I can show you that everything that was written in the protocols of the elders of Zion has happened or is happening. That's irrelevant. The facts are, when every time you look into who's behind this, who's behind this, who's behind this, and it's a Goldberg, Rubenstein, that's undeniable. I didn't make this up. I have nothing to gain from this.
What about the Jews who fought communism?
Here, I know. I got a quote for you, man. This is from page 155 of You Gentiles by Maurice Samuel.
Maurice Samuel, I read it years ago.
We Jews, we the destroyers, will remain the destroyers forever. Nothing that you will do will meet our needs and demands. We will forever destroy. I'm trying to talk.
I'll give you the quote.
We will forever destroy because we need a world of our own, a God world which is not in your nature to build. Beyond all temporary alliances with this or that faction lies the ultimate split in nature and destiny, the enmity between the game and God. But those of us who fail to understand that truth will always be found in alliance with your rebellious factions until disillusionment comes. This wretched fate which scattered us through your midst has thrust this unwelcome rule upon us.
You keep pushing this, you're going to be you'd be written off as nutters. That's what
you're nuts, dude, because you're denying facts.
You're in denial.
Hey, guys, my understanding about Stalin that he was an Ashkenazi. That makes up for a bulk of the Bolsheviks themselves. So
correct.
Yeah, so the ones that were pushing Marxism or Leninism, they belong to that group. I guess they were European Jews. They were converted, but they had no real relation to the ones that were actually from the Middle East. They were just a group that converted over
Well,
as a,
that's debatable. I mean, you know, you
yeah,
could
I
go
mean
back.
that,
They
but that's
call themselves Juice Crew. Some of them practice the faith. Some of them don't. A lot of them are atheistic, especially the ones that are in power. So it's not a religious thing. It's a racial thing. They hate us with every fiber of their being, and gliders are the only ones that can successfully go up against them. That's why they seek to destroy Western nations, because
yeah,
we're
because
the only ones that can organize to fight against them.
and the belief behind the belief that's upheld the Western nations for so long is in stark contrast to what their ultimate beliefs are.
Correct.
That's why they're so they're collectivists as versus individualists in the West. They're very that's why Marxism is so focused on power and power dynamics within groups as a way of
Right.
splitting groups up to keep them fighting against each other while
But
they
if
work
you
while they work behind the scenes to gain more control over everybody's lives.
Right, right. But if you look into the history of the Western world, gliders were not always individualistic. We were tribal also, but it's been, like I said last night, I believe, it's been beaten out of us over the past 80 years since the end of World War II. We've been taught to be individualistic. Like Ayn Rand, Mises, the whole libertarian movement is also Juice Crew. Mises was a Juice Crew. Anyways, they teach that individualistic thing to gliders over generations, and it's stuck because in a lot of ways we're naive. Now, we're not perfect, but we're naive and we want to see the good in everyone. You know what I mean? So we used to be tribal like other races are, but again, it's just been beaten out of us.
Let me
Og,
let me.
I
Yeah.
just dropped a 1 minute video in the back. You can play if you want to. If you want to drop this, we can move on. But a 1 minute
Okay,
video that further illustrates this.
I want to stay on Scott. I'll play it later on. Let me see. Gary Thomas says, "Don't you love that the race of people who have never built a successful country, state, city, or neighborhood are constantly lecturing others about how they need to do better?" Yeah, and I can't blame the Juice Crew for that, man. That's just we don't need no help doing that, man.
I'm not blaming. I've never blamed the Juice Crew for the fact that some people are degenerate and incompetent. The Juice Crew knows you guys are like this, and they amp y'all up with the media to do their dirty work.
That's why they brought y'all here on the ships, but that's a story for another time.
Well, you guys were too lazy to pick your own cotton, man. And
We didn't own the. Well, again, you know, maybe not for this stream, but
okay, yeah.
those that own the cotton plantations were
I
not
know
gliders.
who they were. I know what's the guy Lopez up in Newport.
Aaron Lopez, very
Aaron
good.
Lopez, yeah.
See,
Okay,
I knew you knew what was up.
yeah, I know what's up, man. Salute to your future president says, Fox 2 Detroit man claims to be brutally beaten by cops. Son man trying to get paid. We did that last night, man. That was what last night's show was about. Salute to Maihana Confidential says she's absolutely right. When the Austrian painter came to power, the Frankfurt school people came to the States and pushed this ideology. It's always the juicy ones. Who's the Austrian painter? Oh, okay, that's yeah.
HH.
Yeah.
So like that critical race theory stuff, that's from critical theory, which is a social critique that came from German Juice Crew philosophers. And in social theory, the originally sociology was to comment and not critique society. It was to let society act as its own entity and then to just comment on it. But social theory, promoted by the Juice Crew, said that we can influence society with our academic theories instead of just merely being a bystander. It's a different approach. Instead of letting people do what they do and then learning from it, they say we're going to tell people what to think and society will be better.
Big brother. Truman Show. I wonder who wrote that book, the Truman Show. It's kind of like that's kind of like how we're living now, because they're like trying to scare us. They're trying to use fear every time we get close to the edge of something. They use fear. Like I saw that with Flat Earth, man. As soon as people started doing that, they made it illegal to you couldn't even talk about it. They made it like your whole shit will get banned if you talk about it. As soon as people started learning about the vax, you get your channel shut down just for talking about it. So it's kind of like if you ever seen the movie The Truman Show. But yeah, salute to Mayana Confidential, man. Salute to Boy Kachina, man. He says the CCP China laughing when the other crews get the blame, man.
Show me where China. Show me where China owns Hollywood. Show me where China has elected officials in United States government. Show me the Chinese that are pushing diversity for the United States or open borders for the United States, but not for China. I can show you HIAS, HIAS.org, I believe it is. That is, I can't remember what it stands for. So anyway, Israel something or other, and they are a NGO that funds open border campaigning for the United States. But in Israel, no. We know what they're doing over there to the Palestinians and the Ethiopian juice crew.
True.
So you can't show me any Chinese that are in power in the United States with serious power. You can't show me Chinese that own the media. I can show you juice crew that own all of that.
Okay, so let me see. Salute to Eric S, man, coming through once again. Eric S comes through every day, man. Give a round of applause to Eric S, man. Salute to my man Jim Sefton, Ock Nation Hall of Famer, says just checking in to support Ock, man. Salute to you, Jim Sefton, from over there across the pond, man. Yeah, man. Let's listen to some more of what Scott's got to say, because he's gonna get into it.
Because there's a theme for today's live stream. Here's the theme. That's too far. Have you noticed there's a whole bunch of stuff happening in the country that you would describe as going too far? It's a lot of stuff that started with good ideas. You know, the law should be equally applied. Excellent idea. Excellent. Good idea. People should be treated with respect. Love it. And part of that would be referring to them in terms that are polite and they're comfortable with. I like that. That's good stuff. But do you think we've gone too far? I love the fact that an adult human in the United States can have surgery to turn their body into whatever makes them more comfortable, gender-wise or even just cosmetically if they want. They're adults. It's a free country-ish. Go ahead. But when you extend that to children, is that too far? That's too far. When you put handcuffs on, or even talk about putting handcuffs on Trump for, we'll talk about what he did, doesn't that feel a little too far? It's a little too far, right? And I feel as though there's a whole bunch of stuff that's hitting the same category. Do you think that canceling me was too far? What do you think? Canceling me, too far? Well, the right would say too far. The left would say, you got what you effed around and found out. That's the funniest insult I'm getting. People are saying, well, you effed around and you found out. To which I said, you didn't hear me complaining. Why are we even talking about it? Is it your complaint? If it's not your complaint, it's not a conversation. If I complain, well, maybe you have something to say about that. But no, I didn't F around and find out. I made something happen. It happened a little bigger than I thought it was going to happen, but I'm entirely comfortable with the outcome because I think I'm one of the canaries in the coal mine in this situation. It's just too far. And I think it's time to throw down the gauntlet. We would not hire these people being the woke. And I don't mean woke as an attitude, which is fine. I like being woke as an attitude. But once you bring that into my life and you put your wokeness on me, you've gone too far. You've gone too far. And I think that we've reached a point where everything is now too far because there was no stopping it. And the reason it went too far is that white men were afraid to say anything. That's it. That's the whole story. White men were afraid to say anything.
Anybody? I guess
Yeah.
we're all in agreement.
Yeah.
Right
Didn't I
there.
say that last night in a sense?
Yeah,
He's
we all
absolutely
agree.
right.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. Because here's the thing about this: before somebody says, "Oh, you're talking about gliders. You love gliders." I do love gliders, and I love Sunday. Um, as a black guy, I can say anything. I can say anything. Man, I could get up in front
You
of
still have a
fucking
YouTube channel.
right. I could get up in front of fucking. I could get in front of the Oscars and slap the shit out of the host, and then fucking accept the award and give a fucking 19-minute speech. Listen, man, I mean, as a black dude, I can do anything. There's nothing I can't do. So let's not act like you got to mute yourself too, June. You got a lot of noise in the background. Was that you, June? It's somebody else. Somebody smacking.
No, that was me. I'm sorry. I'm
Right,
crunching
okay.
through leaves.
Okay.
No, that was the Juice Crew.
Oh yeah, Juice Crew. Facts.
Stop it.
But yeah, but like I can say anything. Okay, a black guy can say anything. The only thing we can't do is talk about the Juice Crew. We can say anything about gliders, anything about glider women, anything about
Anything.
yeah, anything about Asians. I mean tigers. Anything about Patels. We can't say nothing about Transformers, but we can say shapeshifters. Shapeshifters. We can't talk about those shapeshifters, but we can talk about just about anybody except for Juice Crew or shapeshifters. Glider men, they can't say anything about anybody but another glider man. And he better be straight and he better be fucking heterosexual.
Well, no, the glider men, they go after glider liberal women pretty hard too, which is it's deserved though, I admit.
What glider men go after glider liberal women pretty hard?
Yeah, I don't see it that much.
Which ones?
Well, the ones, a few that are on this stream pretty regularly.
No. I'm talking about in this stream is not the real world. This is the alternate.
Right. Well, I mean Matt Walsh, maybe. I don't know. I don't follow Conservative Inc. I only
Matt Walsh.
Yeah, doesn't he?
Yeah, but he's not in the mainstream. He's been cordoned off.
Canceled too.
He's pointless anyway. He does absolutely nothing.
Right. That's conservatism though.
I think he does a great job at exposing that. He's pretty good at it, if you ask me.
Yeah, mind if I chime in real quick?
He's a dog on a leash.
I think people like him are a placeholder to keep gliders from going any further than Matt Walsh or
he's highlighting the issue at hand about the alphabet and what they're doing in schools and with the kids. Who else is doing that? Name me somebody that's doing it better than he is.
And
I want to know.
I don't disagree with that, and I've seen where mothers go to these council meetings for their kids' schools over books or whatever, and these moms get canceled, and they're literal nobody. They're just like me, nobody special.
I agree.
So I understand that, but the system wants to keep everyone in a tight little box, and so I think it's podcasters that I listen to regularly. They think that they're kind of going to pull back on the alphabet thing a little bit because conservatives are starting to get more radicalized, and they don't want that, because when the conservative gliders begin to get out of the box of conservatism and become more radicalized, that'll be the end of all this depravity.
So what is that? What is that going to look like? Because I can't even picture it. What does that look like?
I don't. Well, I mean, look, I'm a woman. I don't know political jargon.
But again, The mean streets of Twitter. That's not the.
Well,
No,
no,
no.
no, no, no.
I got
I mean, in
I got an example right in South Carolina. So far there are 21 representatives that are actually pushing a bill to punish abortions with the death penalty. So that's a step, and that's a start. That's an idea.
Wait.
yeah,
Punish
but I mean,
abortions with the death penalty.
Yeah, that's a
That's
start.
your solution. That's your solution
That's
right there.
retarded.
I think,
What
I think that's
I'm
really,
saying is they're going to move in a direct. They're going to, because think about it. The woke consistently harp on about how conservatives are, like trying to kill trans kids or trying to kill the alphabet community. And
Okay.
at this point, they're saying, you know what? We're gonna be
Right.
the boogeyman that you're actually afraid of.
So we're gonna fight lunacy with
yeah, but
lunacy.
that's not, yeah, but
We're gonna
yeah,
fight. We're gonna fight retardedness with retardedness.
I didn't.
yes,
Listen.
that's what that is.
I didn't. It's fighting fire with fire. Because listen, if they can't, all they have is words of. They have a speech. They say words are violent. Speech is violence. But one thing the left are actually afraid of is actual right wing violence. What can actually be perceived as violent acts from the right. They are terrified of it.
Right. The speech is violence to them from the right, but I think the whole abortion debate, there's people that are passionate about it on both sides, and then there's people that are like, it's not something that's really, it's not a big issue. What's an issue right now is crime. People are worried about crime. Nobody's
100%.
People, citizens are,
and the alphabet shit.
Right. But I agree. The alphabet stuff too, especially around our kids. But it's like the whole abortion thing. It's like Republicans are like, oh, look, we're doing something, but they're not doing any. Nobody's really worried about that, in my opinion.
Isn't it Tennessee that's is it either Tennessee or Florida? They some state is actually there's talk of actually having a bounty for anyone who's performing drag shows in front of kids.
Was that? Yeah, I think my worthless governor just did something. I don't know. He's worse than nothing.
But the point I'm getting at is actually Yuri Bezmov actually said it. He said these people you don't get through to them by playing fair. You don't get through them by actually by having these by trying to take the high road. You actually got to. It takes. He said at some point
you have to get in the mud with them. Salute to Strong to Grand. He said one of the first canaries in the coal mine was Colin Flaherty. Rest in peace. Yeah, rest in peace to Colin, man. Colin is definitely the fucking I don't know what to call him. Like he's Saint, man. Saint Colin Flaherty, man. Too bad he succumbed, man. He went so fast. I remember seeing him one day. He was a little thin, and then next thing you know, he was dead. Salute to Boy Kachina, man. Boy Kachina says Maverick was the first movie in 20 years that was not censored by China. Look it up. Damn. In China. Okay, but yeah, let's move along. Let's see what else Scott had to say.
Because the penalty was too high. Well, fuck everybody. The penalty is too high, but I said it anyway. I said it to piss off anybody I could piss off. The reason was to piss off. But the purpose is to make a change that would be good for everybody. Not just good for me, because there's nothing that's going to help me. Right? I've sacrificed myself to the system at this point. So it's not about me. But if you're okay with where things are going, stay silent. If you're not, just say you wouldn't hire these people. These people not being black people. No, I'm not talking about black people. I love black people. I don't like the mindset that says I'm the problem. I don't like the mindset that says children can be altered just because they think they should be. There's something completely broken here. And the problem is that white men in particular are just shutting the fuck up because you're afraid of getting fired, afraid of getting canceled. I think everything's gone too far. I think that the anti-white movement is just so grotesque and so bad for the country that it's time that Black America finds out you went too far. Black America, you went too fucking far. I'm telling you because nobody else will. Now, am I defending my comments? Of course not. They
We
were
went
meant to
too far
inflame, they were
after
meant to attract attention.
defund the
They were meant
police.
to piss you off. They're meant to do deeply trouble.
Black folk have gone too far. It is true. I mean, there's no way to get around it. That first segment we showed you with all those people out there protesting about that cop killing, and like we're at the point, man, where like literally we're just a bunch of fucking big fucking babies, man, that whine about everything.
That'll kill you for your car, for your Kia.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just did this story on basically this brother, he killed this lady in a bookstore in Atlanta over, I mean, I guess they used to date or whatnot, and he just deleted her over that. And
Yeah,
she
but
was owned a bookstore, black
Oh
female
yeah,
business
yeah,
owner.
we did that.
but domestics are one thing though, right? I mean, domestics are unfortunately domestics. We're talking
Yeah.
about a random son man deleting her that doesn't even know her.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really really bad, and I think Scott, like I said several times this past week, he doesn't even know the tip of the iceberg of it, and he's already fed up with it. It just he's calling on other glider men to stand up and just like I told you the other day. Sometimes you have to tell some people no. Sometimes you have to say no, son, man. We're not going to fire our CEO because you found his yearbook from 1974 and he did blackface. No, we're not going to fire the president of our organization because he didn't word his apology to you over some bullshit racism perfectly. We're not going to do it.
And sometimes y'all gotta tell Juice Crew no.
Yeah, but I mean, you still have to tell the Sunman. You still have to tell the Sunman no before you tell the Juice Crew no, because you can actually. I think you could probably. The Juice Crew is they run the media. Sunman doesn't run the media. Sunman just runs their mouth. We just run our mouth, and we have a lot of power from just the trouble we make. We can just
Right.
we're irritants. We're like we irritate you. We're like Dennis Rodman of the fucking world. We're like we just run
You guys
around.
remember Archie Bunker?
Yeah, yeah.
You remember Archie Bunker? We need white guys to be more like Archie Bunker.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't think Kim Fox needs to tell the Juice Crew no because she's gonna do what she's gonna do.
Exactly.
Well, she's that's who she takes her. How do you think she
Yeah,
got
so the George Soros money, right? However,
Yeah, and what is Soros? What is
no,
Soros?
but June, you gotta understand, right? All that money there was amplify her message, which resonates with those people.
Right, I'm not
She
saying
won
she had a
handedly.
different belief.
She won handedly. So she's gonna do. People like all those people are gonna do what they're gonna do.
Yeah, no
Right.
shit, but
They
they're
don't
getting
need the Juice
amplified
Crew.
on purpose.
Right.
They're getting look.
But
Here's the
Fisherman,
deal.
her message would have got
Wicked.
her
Juice Crew
Fisherman.
doesn't fear
Her
you.
message would have if her message didn't resonate, she would have lost handedly after it was amplified. Fisherman, for a
Yes,
fact.
I'm not saying that's not true. I'm saying they amplified her on purpose because they want to get people like her in power.
If it
Their
had to
shield.
been her,
Well,
it would have been someone else with the same belief system.
Well, fine, Fisherman. I'll give that to you. Whatever. However, that's beside the point.
There's a reason the Juice Crew has a problem with men like me and not men like you.
Look, again, Fisherman. You. I think you're giving them. I think you're giving them a little. I mean, they are dangerous. Whatever the fuck. I don't know, but you're giving them a little too much credit because again, I think you got to give the Storm people their credit. You put some respect on the Storm man's name, bro.
Hey, Fisherman, when did you last say something about the Juice Crew and show your face? So I don't know how you can say something about what Wicked's doing when you don't show your face and you don't show your face in the video.
Does everyone need to show their face, Mossy?
Wait.
Okay, you're one guy.
Hold on.
I'm one guy speaking.
Are you wanting him to lose his job, his home, his family? I mean, he as a glider man speaking about the subject that he and I have both been speaking on, he risks losing everything
Well, that's what. That's
The same
where we're
cannot be
at.
said.
But here's the deal. No, here's the deal, though. You have to lose. Hang on, let me make this point. You have to lose battles to win the war. By me getting on here and saying this shit, I am turning more and more and more people onto this stuff, and eventually that whole cancel shit doesn't work anymore because everyone knows who's pulling the strings.
Right.
That's how this is going to work.
It has to. Too many people have been canceled. Not even for speaking up on Juice Crew, but like I said earlier, moms going to meet with their school councils and being canceled for that. You know, y'all have seen it. You cover it all the time.
Let me play some more, Scott. Vince.
You. That's what I did intentionally. I don't apologize. It's too fucking far. You've just taken it too fucking far. All right? It's time. It's time. Not because of Trump. I mean, the Trump thing's too far. But it's just too far. Too far. All right, let's see how many other things have gone too far. Well, let's talk about Trump a little bit more. Do you even care what he was accused of? It's not really important to the story, is it? It's not. And when you hear that some DA found a clever legal way to take something that had already been dismissed by the feds, already dismissed as not important enough to go after, and then he found a way to cleverly combine things to turn it into a felony, that's too far. That is too far. If this were happening to Biden, it would be too far. It's not political. This is not political. Too far. Too far.
Yeah.
Let me give you some other stories that seem to be in the same.
This guy, all he is controlled opposition. You know what I mean by that?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, nothing. Tell me he doesn't look like Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, but here's my thing though. Everybody who says something, you guys are saying it's just controlled. Like, unless a person fucking runs up and stabs like fucking goddamn Steven Spielberg in the forehead with a butcher knife, you're not even gonna say he's fucking just controlled opposition. Like,
Well, no, the reason he's saying this stuff is so he can say shit outlandish enough that most common sense people are, oh my goodness, that's just terrible. And
If
they
he
go off.
if he I'm sorry. If he were anything like Jeff Goldblum, he would not have been canceled. I just want to say that. But
Yeah,
I don't think he's controlled opposition. I think he's genuine, and I think that he was not expecting the cancellation that he got. I mean, as large as it was, as canceled as he got. I don't think he was expecting it to be that severe. And I think now he's somewhat backpedaling, and trying to go back. You know, he's probably, God knows what's going on with this man mentally every night whenever he gets off of his streams.
Yeah, he's ruined a life's work in one sentence, and that little 2 minutes that they took out of that was 2 minutes out of a 2-hour live stream.
Yeah,
It wasn't like
he was
he
just being
talked
honest
about that the whole time. He talked about that for 2 minutes. Now he talks about it for the whole live stream. But
right.
That was literally 2 minutes out of that whole live stream, and that got him canceled.
And he's a prime example for why you should not backpedal and try to make up for the truth that you've spoken, because you will never, they're never going to allow you back in. You'll never get anything out of it.
Never apologize to the mob.
You can never bend it far enough.
Yeah, they'll never. He's fucked forever. Like he could live to be 150 years old, and Dilbert still ain't gonna be the fucking best.
No. Like, where's Ye?
Look, he got what he wanted. He wanted people to know his name. Did anybody know who this dildo was 8 weeks ago?
Yeah, I did.
The 90s.
Yeah, people know who he was. Dilbert is a very well. Even if you don't know who he is, knowing who Dilbert is enough for him, I think.
I didn't know he was the Dilbert artist until he got canceled. Before that, I just knew who he was from conservative Twitter.
Yeah, like, do you know who wrote fucking Thriller or some shit like that? Like, no, but you know Thriller, and I think that's enough for the guy who wrote Thriller.
This story last week, the students at Stanford Law, they had a judge come in who was a conservative judge, and he was protested to the point where he couldn't speak. And then the Washington Beacon published some of the names of the protesters. And the protesters are very angry that their public protest against a public person included their names. Well, if you're not proud of your protest, why'd you do it? You're not proud of your protest? Why wouldn't you want your name associated with it if it's such a good fucking idea? If it's such a good idea, put your name on it. Joke's on you. None of you are going to get jobs. You're going to have half as much opportunity. Everybody who protested this stupid, too far protest, too far. Yeah, your names are going to be forever listed as people who went too far. And if somebody wants to hire an idiot like this, go ahead. You want to hire an idiot? These are all idiots. These are people who are protesting somebody who was a legitimate member of society, broke no laws, is a lawyer, and a judge, and they're not even going to let him talk. Too far. Yeah, you don't get a job. Sorry, you're unemployable. Everybody who was at that protest, you're unemployable. Let's get their names. How about, here's some other backlash. So in California, not too far from where I live, there was a diversity, equity, and inclusion director who is being forced out of a job or getting a lot of pressure. What did she forced out? I think she was fired. And she was accused of white speaking. Okay, that's pretty bad, white speaking.
They literally have a term called white. We did that story like last week. She was accused of white splaining. So she disagreed with the liberals on the campus, and they called her what she said white splaining. And they fucking I think they did force her out of her job for the charge of white splaining. The fact that gliders are allowing white splaining to be a fireable offense, and you can't say boo about a Sunman or a fucking tiger or a shapeshifter or Patel, that's crazy.
I forgot about that.
And she was accused of, and here's the real part. She was accused of not being gender inclusive because she didn't want to use the terms Latinx and Filipinx. Did you know that Filipinx was a thing? Oh, I'm not done yet. She's black. She's black. Or she identifies as black.
Uh-oh.
Her photo is a little less clear, but she identifies as black. And even it's her job to police this kind of bad behavior that she's accused of. And even she says, do you know what she says? Too far. You took it too far. It's just too far. And even she couldn't handle it. She was like, this is now crazy. Latinx and Filipinx, and you lose your job for that? She's a black woman who got accused of white supremacy. That actually happened. It's too far. That's too far. It's time for the sane people to take over because you're not sane.
Wicked. Have you ever heard someone use Latinx outside of social media?
Hell no. But not one time. But I did. No, but these kids are. I think it's gonna become a thing sooner than later. But I never heard it.
Never. Not you mean not one time?
Not one time. And I'm around nothing but Mexicans sometimes, you know.
Wow.
Hey, this is mental illness that you're pretending is some kind of a political statement. Fucking mental illness. Let's say what it is. The woke people have some kind of mental illness, not all of them, because the idea of wokeness I agree with is fine. But when you take it to Latinx and Filipinx and you want somebody fired for it, you have a fucking mental illness. We're treating their mental illness like it's your problem. No, they should never be hired. They should have some kind of therapy. And I think, the media is responsible for instilling this mental illness. All right. And she actually says, this was the DEI person who got fired. And she says, and actually many of my friends who are trans activists and non-binary people actually said, all of this makes me feel uncomfortable because I'm constantly being demanded to state my pronouns. According to her lived experience, the very people that the wokies are trying to protect are saying, can you leave us alone a little bit? Like, just maybe give us a little less attention, please. Too far. It's just too far. How about Bill Maher last night? More on the same theme. He was talking about the ridiculous reparations plan that San Francisco came up with. And of course, like everybody else, he just mocks it as being openly stupid. Let's stop calling this about race. This reparation plan is a bunch of stupid people doing stupid shit. This is stupid stuff. It's too far. It's ridiculous. It's obvious to anybody. None of them should ever get a job anywhere. Anybody who's associated with this recommendation of the reparations, I wouldn't hire them for anything. Right? Anybody who agrees with it, I wouldn't hire them for anything. I don't care what your color is. Don't care who you are. If this is your mindset that the non-slave state of California should even consider taking money from anybody else and giving it to Black Americans who had no association with any recent problems anyway, it's too far. It's crazy. It's stupid. And you should never get a job if you're associated with it. It's time for some backlash. Even CNN today is talking about, do you remember Kendi, the author of the book How to Be an Anti-Racist or something? And he was the big go-to guy during George Floyd, and he would be the one to explain what systemic racism is and how important it is. And apparently he says there's some of his books are now being removed from schools and libraries because there's what he says is some kind of a campaign by conservative commentators against what they're calling systemic wokeness. It's a backlash against systemic wokeness, a phrase I would like all of you to adopt. Yeah, systemic wokeness is a real thing. Now, systemic racism is real. Not denying that. That's sort of obvious in my opinion. But yeah, systemic wokeness is ruining the country even more actively at the moment. He said the momentum was crushed. His momentum, what he would call his anti-racist momentum, was crushed by a pretty well-organized force and movement of people who were seeking to conserve racism. You fucking asshole. No, you asshole. You're just an asshole. Let's stop talking about this as race. This Kendi guy is just a big, giant asshole. Has nothing to do with his color. This is an asshole, all right? The people who are pushing back are not defending racism, you asshole. No, they're defending sanity. They're defending a system that could work. They're trying to get rid of you, asshole, because you're ruining the whole fucking thing. So there's a little pushback. Now that's the story on CNN. Do you think CNN would have run in kind of an anti-Kendi story? I mean, it was a little bit balanced because it showed his side as well. But even the fact that they ran the story, that there's a backlash against him, you don't think that the white people at CNN feel it too? Of course they do. Of course they do. Because everybody does. All right. Just to be clear, I don't endorse any violence for anything, except maybe against the cartels. But there is going to be a push, and all it requires is some honesty. Now, honesty is really dangerous. It can be more dangerous than violence in some ways. You will get canceled. but maybe it's time. Maybe it's time. And when I say that white men are going to be rising up, I don't mean in a racist way. I mean in a common sense way, in a way that would be good for everybody. They're not going to try to make anything worse for black people. If anything, they try to make it better. But it's just time. White men, you got to be honest, and you got to say it's too far, and you got to put your foot down. You got to say that the Kennedys are assholes, the wokesters are assholes. None of them should ever have a job, and they can die in the gutter. Well, it's too far. I don't want them to die in the gutter. But if they're going to ruin my country, which appears to be what's happening, don't ask for a lot of sympathy. They need maybe some mental health, resources. I wouldn't mind that, by the way. I wouldn't mind some mental health resources for the overwoke. Anybody who thinks that Filipinx and Latinx is a necessary addition to our system, you just need some counseling. I don't need to change about that. And by the way, I'm perfectly open to adopting to new and better ways to deal with each other. I like change. Change is fine, but not from the idiots. All right, the change shouldn't come from the idiots. Let's get the idiots off the field. It has nothing to do with black and white. And as soon as you let them tell you it's about black and white, or boy versus girl or anything else, you're losing. It's fucking idiots against people who have some rational sense left about how to make the system work. It's not about the people. We need a system that all of us can fit into and thrive. And they're breaking the system, the best system that's ever existed. Best one that's ever existed.
Oh, wow. Scott went in, man. Shout out
No,
to
he
Scott.
didn't.
God damn, you ain't, man. You can't even just give him credit for like.
No, he's a faggot. He pushed the vax. He sucks.
Well, I mean, a lot of people did a lot of things, man. I mean, what
He could do one more thing and eat a bullet.
Wow.
Why gotta be a
Damn, I mean, this guy he was cooking, man. I gotta disagree with you right there. I think he laid it flat, man. He put it down. Salute to Scott, man. I think he put it down right there, man. Let's see what's going on. Have any of you guys ever been in the store when this happened?
Look at this.
No.
Wow. Hey, look at this. Insane. Insane, yo. Yo, this is the middle of the Ulta right now. Look at this.
Coming soon to every Democratic run.
Insane, TJ. Insane.
I mean, listen, man. That right there is a scene we see a lot. I have never seen it in person, but I know that happens very frequently because we see it a lot. That was not a common occurrence 4 years ago. That did not. You didn't see a lot of stories about that 4 years ago. When I was on YouTube, you just didn't see a lot of stories about that. That happens all the time now.
Mm-hmm.
It's just part of the new America, man. And that's too far. That's fucking too far, man. You just can't have that, man. Let's see this one.
Oh, shit. You're ugly and don't fire us again.
What the fuck?
You yourself. Why are you eating yourself? Shut up, man. Watch me beat up this little kid. Let me see. Right, so. Oh, shit. Don't hide and slap your hair like this. Do it.
Damn.
No. Me? I will. Throw it on the ground.
That's an adult coaching them to treat that little white girl like that.
Wow. That's
And
crazy.
they posted it. And they posted that.
And thought it was cute.
Well, here's the thing. That's too far. When you
Yeah.
have adults like, hey, go bully this little white girl, and then we're gonna post it online. The fact that you don't feel shame about that, the fact that you're so fucking bothered by that you have such an inhibition because of gliders. Gliders have put you in that position because if it wasn't for gliders, you wouldn't have that. This is not Juice Crew. Juice Crew did not make some people like this. Gliders made some people like this.
You have to have a moral compass in order for shame to have any effect.
Yeah. This is horrific, man, because this little girl, she's obviously trying to still be friends with these girls. She's been told that, by her white liberal mom that, you still try to be friends with them, even if they.
Yeah, that little girl does not understand why this other person is being mean to her.
Yeah.
It's fucking disgusting.
And these
I don't
little
give a shit what
girls,
color they are.
and these girls are going to, this doesn't stop. I'm a Sun person. This don't stop. We don't have pity like y'all do. We don't have pity and empathy like y'all do, man. We'll do this until something stops us.
Yeah.
Or like if you don't stop us, we're just gonna keep pushing. Like they'll fucking have this girl walking fucking. There's nothing because these little kids. I don't want to go too far, but there's nothing they won't do to this girl if she doesn't put a stop to it.
Yeah, as long as the adult keeps pushing them and coaching them up to do it, it's OV.
Yeah, but now they're on autopilot now.
Yeah,
because
they know how to. Yeah, they know how to treat the little white girl now.
Yeah.
And did you hear the idiot laughing who was filming?
Yeah, it's this is too far.
White girl bleed a lot.
Yeah, like
Hey,
this is this.
Would this be grounds for corporal punishment against the person recording? Because they're the adult watching this stuff happen.
Definitely. I mean,
I don't think it'd be too far to take the belt to that adult.
No doubt. I mean, if this was the other way around, and you had two let's say 5-year-old white girls, let's say 5 or 6-year-old white girls, punking the shit out of a 3-year-old black girl, and an adult glider behind the camera coaching and egging it on. This would be the #1 trending thing on Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube. This would be on Good Morning America, the Today Show. The fucking little girl and her mom would be sitting there with whoever, what's that lady name? Fuck Robin Roberts and shit. They would do the whole tour, the view everywhere. They would have a GoFundMe with fucking $1 million in it, and the fucking president or Kamala Harris maybe would go visit them. And you guys know that that's true. That's how it would go. It's too far, man.
Yeah, it's pretty bad when it's true. It's stunned into silence.
What about the reparations ruling in San Francisco? Is that too far? The $5 million?
I don't know much about. I'm not.
Well, San Francisco, they are going forward with this plan to give reparations $5 million. I've said it in the monologue, $5 million, which that's quite a lot.
To individuals?
Yes, to individuals. It said say what it would cost.
Even I didn't go this.
Get a white woman to individuals. She's
to niggas, bitch.
Yeah,
What the fuck is he talking about? To individuals.
Quite a lot.
To individuals?
Yes, to individuals. It said say what it would cost.
Even I didn't go this far.
Of course, we've got the juice man controlling the conversation.
House for $1. They buy you a house. I mean, it seems like you know, when people ask why you're talking against the woke craziness, because it's crazy. Is it not crazy? They said it would cost and by the way, San Francisco doesn't have a history of slavery or anything like that, you know. It would cost every citizen left $600,000 each. This is madness, is it not?
I mean, it's 5 million for every son, man. I mean, like, are you serious, man?
One is, you can't really think about the Irish without thinking about division. And I can't help thinking about us right now when I think about that. The Irish island is still not whole, and Northern Ireland, the part that is still part of England despite its majority Catholic population, went through a period where political hatred born of religion turned into something called the Troubles, which meant the hatred got so bad it could not be contained by the usual means of disagreement. So people lived with bombings and sniping and urban warfare, what Tucker Carlson calls sightseeing. In America, our warring factions aren't Catholics and Protestants, but that same level of hatred, of otherization, is happening between Democrats and Republicans. We've grown less religious, but that's because politics has become our religion. We used to pray for the nation. Now each side prays the other side doesn't destroy the nation. On one side, the Church of Woke wants to cleanse us of our past, and on the other, the cult of Trump wants to resurrect it. Trump is often depicted as some kind of religious warrior, and now he's talking like an end times religious nut. He speaks about an epic battle against sinister forces and says, I am your warrior, I am your justice, and for those who have been wronged and betrayed, I am your retribution. Oh, Jesus, thanks, Batman.
Oh, God.
I mean, there's no way people actually laugh that hard.
Yeah, no bullshit. No bullshit. Let me show you something else, man. It's just too far, man. I mean, it's too much, man. Son, man, is out of control, and you won't get this genie back in the bottle with what you're doing. You guys, whatever you think you're doing, you're not gonna get the genie back in the bottle. It's not going to happen.
You can't put toothpaste back in the bottle, right?
No way. This is the Ibrahim Kendi guy. This is about, what was it, 10 years ago? White liberals made this guy the go-to guy on every issue involving black people. A guy who couldn't raise his voice. If he was around me and my boys, he couldn't talk. He couldn't get a word in edgewise. If we were talking about the fucking game or anything, he wouldn't be able to speak. Because we'd just be talk. He just wouldn't have the energy to get a word in. He wouldn't have the fortitude to get a word in edgewise. But white liberals said he's the foremost authority on all things black, and anything he says has to be taken as the gospel. And he wrote a bunch of shitty ass books on racism and shitty ass essays on racism, and gliders swallowed that shit whole down to the base. And now they're starting to realize that he's just a fucking idiot with a degree in fucking African American studies.
You talked about the importance of defining racism, but I unless I missed it, possible, I didn't hear your personal definition. Is there one that you would offer us? Like, how do you define racism?
Sure. So racism, I would define it as a collection of racist policies that lead to racial inequity that are substantiated by racist ideas.
Define racism.
Yeah, that's a word salad.
You don't use the word
right
in the definition. Listen to how many times he used racism in his definition of racism.
I would define it as a collective.
I didn't hear your personal definition. Is there one that you would offer us? Like, how do you define racism?
Sure. So racism, I would define it as a collection of racist policies that lead to racial inequity that are substantiated by racist ideas.
See what I'm saying? Like, if we was talking about the game, who's better, Kobe or Jordan or LeBron, he come in with some stupid shit. Man, shut the fuck up. Man, shut your dumb ass up. Whose man is this? The white people got to take this guy serious because he's black and he's a professor. The white people got to act like he's some serious fucking authority on blackness. This guy's a fucking moron.
Of racist policies that lead to racial inequity that are substantiated by racist ideas. Sure. A collection of racist policies that lead to racial inequity that are substantiated by racist ideas.
He could have literally said, what is racism? Every glider in here with a mirror, pocket mirror in their pocket, take it out now. And they all go in their pockets and pull out their pocket mirrors. What you see in the mirror, that's racism. And they all said, oh my God, so deep. And paid him gave him another book contract and fucking sent him on another speaking tour to every fucking college in the fucking country. This guy's a fucking moron.
Sure. A collection of racist policies that lead to racial inequity that are substantiated by racist ideas. And anti-racism is pretty simple, using the same terms. Anti-racism is a collection of anti-racist policies leading to racial, anybody want to take a guess? Equity that are substantiated by anti-racist ideas.
You're a fucking idiot. And the fact that Gladys got to sit there and treat you like a fucking fucking like shaman or a guru, that's too far. The fact that a room full of white people have to treat this fucking shit for brains moron like he's a fucking deity, it's too fucking far. He knows. You could look at it. You could tell. You could look at his face. He knows he's fucking.
He's like, I hope that worked.
he knows he's just some fucking. He's an average at this. But like, they have so many other black people that are better at this game than he is. He's not even in the top fucking 50th percentile of this bullshit race baiting game. He's horrible. He's like fucking Pat Beverly of this shit, or fucking Matt Barnes of this shit. But they're treating him like he's the Jordan of this shit, and this shit is bullshit. He sucks at this, and which is bullshit. The game he's playing is horse shit. And he sucks at it, and they got to treat him like he's great.
That are substantiated by anti-racist ideas. Sure. So racism, I would define it as a collection of racist policies that lead to racial inequity that are substantiated by racist ideas. Sure. A collection of racist policies that lead to racial inequity that are substantiated by racist ideas. And anti-racism is pretty simple, using the same terms. Anti-racism is a collection of anti-racist policies leading to racial, anybody want to take a guess? Equity that are substantiated.
Shit, man. Let me just show you the type of shit that these people.
My boy just made that up on the spot.
Yeah, exactly. And all the white people are like, oh my God, they're all fucking amazed and shit.
That's deep.
Yeah, that guy's a fucking loser, man. He could never speak in a room full of any brothers that I knew. Like he couldn't even talk, man. He'd just be quiet. He'd be like, damn, why you so quiet, man? He just be like, get quiet and shit. Like, damn, dude, who's your man? Dude, why you always quiet? Oh no, he just quiet. That's just how he is, man. He always like that.
He just chilling.
Yeah, he just chilling, man. He wouldn't say nothing, man.
We're going to go to the El Paso shooting, changing topics now to put racism and racial issues back at the center of political debate here in America. A Pew Research poll finds more than half of American adults think race relations are bad and getting worse. Now, Professor Ibram Kendi is on a mission to set the country on a new path toward equality. In his new book, How to Be an Anti-Racist, Kendi calls racism a cancer and explains how readers can shift their thinking to stop it. Earlier, we just saw him speak with 12 community members about the issue. On the second anniversary of the Charlottesville attack, they were there. Kendi is the founding director of the Anti-Racist Research and Policy Center at American University and joins us at the table. Good to have you back, Professor.
It's a pleasure to be on.
All right, Doctor, start with this because you said being an anti-racist is not the same as being not racist. And I was very confused. I had to read that page a couple times. So explain exactly what you mean in simple terms.
So the simplest way to understand it is when we think of the history of the term not racist, we're really thinking about eugenicists when being charged with being racist, saying they're not racist. We're thinking about Jim Crow segregationists saying they're not racist. White nationalists and supremacists today say they're not racist. And so we're really thinking about a term in which people are denying that they are racist. That's really the only meaning, real meaning that this term is held. But anti-racist, in contrast, has a meaning of somebody who views the racial groups as equals, someone who is pressing for policies that creates racial equity.
And that's the key to look at racial equity. Because I remember when the El Paso shooting happened, I don't know any Black person in this country when they first heard it that said, oh, Lord, please don't let him be Black. And you write about this in your book, that why do we take on that mantle? Because that's not something white people think when there's a shooting.
Because I think in many ways what our racial discussion has done is it's caused individuals, particularly Black individuals, to the mantle of race.
Of the whole race.
Yes. Partly because when we know that when people see a lazy Black person, they're just not seeing a lazy person. They're seeing lazy Black people. They're generalizing this individual negativity as opposed to allowing individuals to be individuals.
You write that you used to be a racist most of the time, but you're now on a mission to be anti-racist. How did you recognize this and how did you change?
And most people think Black people can't be racist either, by the way.
Well, I mean, I grew up in the 80s and the 90s, a time in which young Black males were classified, like me, who were classified as super predators, a time when young Black girls were thought to be hypersexual, having all these babies. Our communities were imagined to be severely dangerous. These were racist ideas circulating not only among white people, but even among Black people. And young people like me were internalizing these ideas, internalizing, thinking that the problem was in part Black people. And I thought that for a long time.
You believe that?
I thought it. Yeah, I believe.
So even when he was racist against Black people. Black people were even his victims.
He did. Until I
realized about confusion.
Nothing. The only thing wrong with Black people was that we thought something was wrong with Black people, and that the fundamental racial problem was racist policy.
One of the interesting things in the book is the idea that being a racist is not an identity. It is not a permanent condition of an individual. It's a temporary condition based on actions. Why define it in that way?
Because I think with my earlier work chronicling the history of racist ideas, I found that you had some people who in the same speech, even in the same paragraph of the same speech, would say things that were both racist and anti-racist. They would speak at the same time, right? So then how would we identify that person as being a racist when they also said anti-racist things? They also spoke about racial equality. And so what's actually happening is I define racist and even anti-racist as based on what a person is saying or doing in the moment. And we constantly change. Human beings are deeply complex. And I think that's a more accurate way to explain this.
You call racism a cancer and that it should be treated like a cancer. And I know you don't say this lightly because you've had stage 4 colon cancer.
Yeah, and I've had stage 4 colon cancer.
Your wife has had
My
cancer?
wife had breast cancer. My mother had had breast cancer. Even my father had cancer. And so I think through experiencing my own cancer as well as caretaking for loved ones who had cancer, I've been able to see how cancer is treated.
Yeah.
And generally, particularly with metastatic cancer, and I had metastatic cancer, and I would argue we have metastatic racism in this country. There's typically a local treatment in which you go in and surgically remove the tumors, which is essentially like going in to remove the racist policies.
I was gonna say, you have your health today. Can the country get its health when it comes to metastatic racism, as you put it?
I think so. I think if we flood the body with anti-racist policies, if we believe in the possibility that we can overcome metastatic racism, then I think we can overcome it.
How's your health today? You look good.
Yeah.
How's your health?
I'm good.
You're good? Okay.
I'm trying to stay good.
All right.
Ibram
Glad
Kendi,
to
thank
hear
you
that.
so much for being with us this morning.
You're welcome.
How did
Now they have to act like that shit was deep.
Yeah,
They
he
have
didn't
to
say
act-
anything at all.
He basically said, gives me more free stuff. And after that, gives me more free stuff. And then kiss my feet and prostrate yourself on the ground before me.
He
And
probably made 50 G's just doing this little thing.
he basically told you to fucking bend over and spread them. That's the only way you can fucking not be racist, if you bend over and spread them.
Right. He's talking about anti-racist. What about anti-attacking old people? I'm with that
Right.
party.
Salute the genetic freak, man. He says, salute. The only thing more annoying than some man named DeMarquavius is the ones who renamed themselves some fake hotep bitch. He's just another grifted son man from New York named Henry Rogers who went to FAMU. Oh shit! He went to FAMU. Okay, he's Henry Rogers. That's his name. Okay, yeah, like I told you, man, just a fucking moron, man. Salute to Gary Thomas, man. He says there has never been a moment in human history where multiple groups have lived in one place and each group was doing equally well. It's impossible. I don't know why we think we can do it in America. Yeah, man. It's just insane, man.
The idea is not to make it possible or reality. The idea is to push that, knowing that it will never happen, but you can control people by constantly making them fight each other.
Yeah, I mean, listen, man. Listen to it. If this is on TV, I want you to think about this. So this is happening according to these people, this country is nakedly racist. White people with privilege. White people have their collective boot on black people's throats. Black people can't get a fucking break. They can't fucking even, if you a black person and you fucking poke your head out of a hole, somebody gonna smash it like whack-a-mole. You just gotta fucking pray and stay low to make it in America, according to these people. Now listen to this shit and think about they actually sell that other shit to gliders, and gliders buy it.
About being anti-race when you're not quite sure how to quantify racism. We are, but I don't think a lot of people are.
And I think that's the very point. Because if you're not doing anything to challenge all of the injustice and all of the inequity in our society, then what happens? It persists.
Dude, you went to FAMU, and now you're the fucking biggest black voice in academia. You've been on every show in America being taken seriously as a moron. What more do you want from white people, my man?
Sure. So therefore, you're reinforcing it. So therefore, you're being racist. And so we're encouraging people to actively try to dismantle this structure, including young people.
But what is their incentive? Like, what would they be, Nick, what is their, if this system is working for you or not, it doesn't cause you any ruffles, you can sleep at night. Why would you want to change a system that seems to be going just as you intended?
But is it actually working for you?
Well,
right?
People, yeah.
It
yeah.
seems
Not me.
to be.
I'm
right? It clearly is not working for either one of us.
I'm talking about.
It's clearly not working for you, the host of The Daily Show, who gets to come on here and talk shit about white people all day.
Like,
yes, I think For me, it's all about children, right? Like, even though this is a system that might seem like it's working for you, the world is actively changing. If your children are not prepared to live in a world and move through a world that have people that are different from them in positions of power, they're gonna be in trouble.
Yeah, but then they try to remake the world. You see that they literally, we're a nation that is run by the Flintstones and the Jetsons, and the Stones are winning. You have to understand that I don't believe a lot of people, for instance, I don't believe a lot of white people are actively racist. But I do believe that the notions of white supremacists, they don't agree with their methods, but they agree with their goal, which is to keep white people in charge. And so if that is the premise, then what incentive, seriously, would there be to make these changes that only destabilize what you know works for you?
I think one of the things we've been showing in studying racism is that it's actually harming white people too. It's not harming them at the level it's harming people of color, but there are actually white people who are dying of police violence. They're not dying at the level of black.
And how the fuck is that racism? Because some fucking toothless hick in some fucking backwater Arkansas town beating the shit out of his wife and then pulls a gun on a cop and gets his brains blown out. How the fuck is that racism? Salute to Myth Maddie. She says, just saw that nasty bastards hurting the baby girl. I'm officially done. I'd kill them all if I saw it. And I'm showing that clip to everyone I see ever. Yeah, man. Make sure y'all share that clip, man.
Hey, it's racism because they say that if the hick will do that to his wife and the cops stop him, they wouldn't kill him. They say he'd get away. He would get, if they say if a black person did the same thing, they shoot him on sight. That's why they'll say that's racism.
Jesus Christ. Gigi Ryder says, look for anything that isn't equity for blacks. Change any laws and policies that could be blamed for lack of equity or disparity. Prison reform, sentencing reform, college admissions, job quotas. It's for surgeons and pilots. Yeah, but I mean, this shit is just fucking crazy. This guy's just literally going on a tour telling white people that they haven't done enough for black people. And they just need to do more and more and more and keep doing more and keep doing more while calling them fucking racist.
And brown people, but more white people are dying of police violence in this country than other countries. More white people are incarcerated in this country than other countries. More white people are struggling to vote in this country compared to other countries. There were 5 million about poor whites in 1860 whose poverty was directly connected to the enslavement of black people.
But I think a lot of white people don't get this. When you poor, you a nigga too. You are.
So he's basically saying that being poor is synonymous with being black. When he's rich, and she's rich.
You are. Like, I don't think people understand that generally what hurts me hurts you. What is good for me is good for you. And I think that, but there is that thing where you know, people will give their last dime to keep things a certain way as long as it hurts you. Like, look at what happened with the Obamacare Act. A lot of those people in those poor states are being hurt by that, but they don't care as long as you are.
Yeah.
But the sense of optimism is in what you said earlier, children, because in children you have, not mine, they're a whole different thing, but
I knew she was a moron, but racist ideas. So racism is not what when we grew up. Racism was just being racist, like F you N-word, or no, you can't get on the bus N-word, or no, you can't come in here N-word. Then they switched it to power. It's a power system. You have to have a system of power. Now it's this racist ideas bullshit. I can't keep up. Think about how many times they're using racism. They've used racism like 1,000 times in this fucking 5 minutes.
It's because they don't have any real racism to point to, that they have to start creating all this other stuff, just like the hate crimes. They don't have any real ones, so they have to fake them.
Yeah, he doesn't have time when a white guy did this to me, or this time when a white guy did this. He doesn't have those stories. He just has racism as an idea. Yeah, ideas.
Just so stories.
Yeah, it's an idea. It's an idea. Racism is an idea.
Right.
It's like what?
It's legislation.
Yeah, these people. This is really, really, really maddening. And the fact that these people, that gliders who claim to have high IQs, fucking buy this shit. It really does make you think like maybe that shit is not true, man.
Not all gliders are equal. Not all gliders. There's just like not all sun people are low IQ. You know what I mean? So there's levels to it, I guess you could say. But historically, the plebs, as you would call the lower IQ gliders, they weren't in power. They didn't hold the power. I believe it was probably the higher IQ gliders that did, and that was for a reason.
Yeah, I mean, it's maddening, man. I mean, y'all are just losing. And like Scott said, we need y'all to, at least your men, to step up, man, because the country, y'all created the country. Y'all the only ones that know the key to save it. Y'all the only ones that know how to save this shit, man. We can't land the plane, man. Y'all the only ones that can land the plane, man.
Not if the Jews got anything to say about it.
Oh, boy.
I'm thoroughly convinced that the only time they'll finally stop talking about racism when they can actually enslave white people. I think that's their end goal.
That's always been the end goal. That was never not the end goal. That was never not the end goal.
They'll stop talking about racism when gliders actually become racist and take power back. Because right now we have no power.
Yeah.
Did you catch how he said that the racist can't define racism, and yet he and the woman next to him couldn't define racism?
All these people at this table don't have a collective IQ that accumulates to the triple digits.
Yeah, and they're all sitting there pontificating shit.
They're all wearing gliderman clothes, talking like glidermen with a gliderman's language, and saying literally nothing.
And aren't all three of them college
But
educated?
they all have degrees, I'm sure.
Yeah, they all,
and they wouldn't even know what a degree was if it wasn't for a gliderman or a book.
Or the wheel.
Agree or disagree with the following statement. It is okay to be white.
No, that's not okay. It's terrible to be white. No.
What should white people do about that?
There's not much y'all can do, but Scott deal with it.
What should I?
And people, gliders will think that she's joking. A lot of gliders will say, "Oh, she's just trolling." I promise you, as a sun person,
right? Let me ask you this. Is this a script she's reading out of, or is this organic? Is this
it's organic.
What it is?
It's organic. This is, and you can tell by the gumption and the gall and the audacity with which she said it.
Wicked. This is uncut.
And how quickly she said it.
Yeah, it's literally, they know it's safe to say that.
Right. So for the record, this is not some script that somebody gave her.
Hell no. They all talk. Listen.
All right,
you see me, right? I'm not biracial, right? Everybody in my family is a black person. This is how they talk.
Wicked. This is uncut dope right here. Trust me. This is
He's just trolling. He's not actually serious.
Yo, Marcy, I'm very familiar with uncut. Son, yada yada.
That's what this is. This is not stepped on.
Agree or disagree with the following statement. It is okay to be white.
No, that's not okay. It's terrible to be white. No.
What should white people do about that?
There's not much y'all can do, but Scott deal with it.
What should I do about that, do you think?
Try not to be white.
Yeah, but she's right though. It is.
That's all you could do at this point.
Is it okay to be Asian?
Nah, you don't want to be them either.
See, I was
Now
about to
she
make this
trolling.
point. It
Now
didn't
she
matter
trolling.
what you asked them, as long as it wasn't blackety black, they
But
were gonna
she's
say
right.
some fucking derogatory shit.
It
See, that's
is
the-
terrible to be white or Asian right now because who's being victimized?
Yeah, but she means it
Everybody.
like yeah,
Everybody's
exactly.
being victimized.
Black
Yeah,
people are
exactly.
being victimized like a motherfucker. But she's trolling when she said Asian. Now she's just joking. But when she said white, she meant
No, she meant that shit too. 100%. That's why they walk around socking the shit out of old Asian women. Don't
Salute-
play like they fucking rock with the Asians and
No,
the
no.
hombritos. They don't.
Yeah, I'm with Fish on this one, Chief.
No, but what I'm saying is like she when she said it, she was joking. When she said that about Gladys, she was 1,000% from her core. In her,
Yes.
When she said that about Asians, you were like, yeah, them too. It's like they just a throwaway. You know, Asians are we can't get no free stuff from Asians. They just can't fucking bend over and give us their country or
But they could have said the Arabs. They would have talked shit. They could have said the Hombritos. They would have
No,
talked
they would have
shit.
said Arabs is okay. These people would have said
No,
Arabs.
they hate their stores. They're jealous of the Arabs.
But Arabs are POCs. See, the Asians are the model POC, but any other POC they would say, all right, I promise you.
You should see how the woke Sunman treat the Arab gas stations.
But
They
that's
hate
different
them.
than what she would say on camera. Like she loves white people too. She loves a lot of things white people provide. And look at the way she talks about them.
How about black?
Definitely that. That's it. It's all you could be. It's the coolest thing to be. I mean,
She literally said
Really,
that's
after that,
all
you
you
talking
can
bottom of the
be.
barrel, really.
She just
Asian,
she just put everyone else in under
That
the
we would speak to today
same
would call what
banner.
you're saying racist.
yeah, I am racist.
Are you serious? Or are you?
100%.
Me too, sister. Me
So you
too.
just don't like white people as a whole?
No.
Y'all got too much. Yeah, y'all got
Who
too much
want to be
lead.
white? That's awful.
No.
Okay, so why is that? Why is it not okay to be white?
Y'all have the race as a people. Y'all have done too much. I would rather
people.
Yeah, as a whole.
And it's a little it's a group of
Audacity.
people.
Too much good or too much bad?
Too much bad.
The majority is not.
Is like bottom of the barrel, really.
Could you imagine what her life would be like in living in some African village, pre-colonial African village?
She'd be in one of them old. She'd be in one of them old lady anti-rape fight clubs.
She'd be happy with it because she's probably living that life currently.
No, she's got her cell phone. Her cell
No,
phone and the house she lives in is not a mud hut. And
No, what I'm saying is she's living in ignorance, straight up, and she is not concerned about tomorrow. She's only concerned about today, and that's only
Yeah.
because she's not having to provide for the things that she needs, beyond a week from now. So she's probably living. So
Right.
as she's probably living that way currently in the United States as best she can.
right,
She certainly wouldn't be that fat.
benefiting from
Yeah, she-
I mean
I think she could.
electricity.
She might have a
We've-
hot belly, but that'd be for a different reason.
We've seen fat sisters in Africa in Ox videos. We've seen them. I want to say.
Yeah.
How much
Yeah,
does the United States send to
I ain't never seen
Africa?
any of them in a tribe that are fat. You'd have to show me that. Maybe ones that have.
Yeah, I haven't
access to
either.
shit.
There was one they were interviewing once. She was like sitting on the floor, and I forget what it was. Hey, but one time a son man told me he was mad. He tells me, "Man, I ain't gonna take orders from a guiding." I tell him I'm an hombrito. He's like, "I don't give a fuck. If you ain't a son man, you a guiding."
You have to beat that guy. They don't fall in line.
Yeah. Luther Cornelius, man. Cornelius says, "Where the hell is Stunner?" Man, Stunner, man. Wicked ran Stunner off, man. Stunner ain't coming around no more, man.
Stop.
Shout out
Hey,
to
I
Stunner,
don't.
man.
Don't you send Stunner out the river. I don't do that.
Yeah,
They were trying to
man.
instigate, Chief.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Stunner though, man. Man. Shit. Yeah, but yeah, we'll see Stunner around here sometime, man. Sometimes, man. So maybe Stunner racist with his with his presence at some point, man. Let's continue this.
Really? Yeah. Should we be judging people based on the content of their character and not
Yes.
the color of their skin?
No, you need the color of skin is very important.
By the way, do you agree with her?
Yes, she does. I have a black son. I don't want my son come home with no white woman at all. He know better.
Amen.
Do you tell him that?
Yes.
How old's your son?
21.
And he's not allowed to date.
Not he could date who he want, but they can't come in my house, and I'm not gonna have no parts of it. I don't want no mixed babies. I want a black baby grandchild. That's what I want.
Only 53% of Black Americans said yes to that poll. Does that surprise you or no?
No. Black people are really racist.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
I feel like it's not okay to be racist,
It is okay to be racist.
but white people have made it where it's so easy to be racist. White people.
That one talking
our fault
realizes
too,
she realizes the fat one's saying way too much, so she's trying to backtrack.
Yeah, exactly. The white one's the fat one's trolling now, but she's trolling, but she's still telling you what she thinks, but she's trolling a little bit. It's a little bit of trolling in there now. That she's just going overboard with it. But yeah, I mean, listen, man, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. You can't fix this. You can't fucking. This ship has left the dock, man. Horses left the barn, man.
I'm okay with what she said there at the end. She doesn't want her son coming home with a white woman. I'm fine with that. That does not offend me at all. I just don't want anyone to be offended whenever I say that I don't want my kids coming home with
But
someone
they
from another
are.
race either.
You'd lose
You
your
know?
job. If you said that, here's the thing. You wouldn't say that.
Oh, I do.
Everyone on here, if a man on the street came up to you with a microphone and a camera, there's no fucking way you would say that.
I would, but I'm in a different situation
No,
than
you
most
wouldn't.
people. Oh, I would. Because I
You
say
would.
these things publicly
Who
on
believes?
social media.
Who believes that she would say that? Put her face on camera saying that with the white version of what this woman's saying. Hit one if you agree that you would say that. I don't believe you. That's it. That's all I'm saying. I don't believe you. Now somebody else, if you believe her, you believe her, and it's okay. You don't have to believe.
Yeah, and I'm okay if people don't, but I mean that's fine. I don't want to
I
be in that
don't
situation.
believe you.
But what I'm saying is that I agree with that last part. Muhammad Ali, you know, I share that clip all over the place. Well, I used to. Facebook bans it now, but I agree with him on that level. Bluebirds, go with bluebirds.
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
Gigi Ryder says any woke proposal that says historical conditions is a red flag. It means anti-white forever. Yeah. I mean, all this stuff is anti-white. Everything is anti-white. The fact that we call our racism and we say these things about y'all, if y'all is this big bad boogeyman, both these women, listen, this is how sons would do it. If she spoke out against the fucking leadership of an African country, that night, some of the president's guard would come arrest her, and you would never see her again. It would be it. And that would be the end of the story. Would be no fucking nothing else. The end. Salute the genetic freak. Idiotic Sun Woman is a former model single mother who lived in Fisherman's favorite country after she finished at Spelman. Now she writes trash fiction books. You can't make this stuff up, bro. Oh, he talking about the woman in the last segment, the woman with the woman that was sitting next to Ibram Kendi. He says she's a model single mother who lived in Israel after she finished that Spelman.
It's all just a coincidence, though. It doesn't mean anything.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Just because they're behind these things. Yeah. It's just a coincidence.
Coincidence. Wow. Yeah, man. it's a jungle out there, man. It's just very interesting on how these people seem to think that gliders have made their lives such a living hell, and their life would be so much better without gliders, man. Let's see what their life would be like without gliders, man. Let's see what some of what their life would be like without gliders. Man.
South Africa right now is going into the absolute shitter.
Oh yeah,
there's a
go ahead. We'll go to South Africa. We'll go to South Africa and check it out. I just want to check out Kenya right quick, man. Mother Kenya, Mommy Africa, as they would say. What the hell's going on? Let me see. Oh shit. Shit. This shit. This fucking thing that always happens whenever I fucking be on my computer too long. It's like something that happens now. I got it now straight. Salute everybody enjoying the show, man. 4:46 here at 1:30 in the morning, man. Salute to everybody, man. Enjoying the show. Scorpion Squad, stay on your P's and Q's, man. Let's see what would happen, what life is like back in Mommy Africa, as JLP would say.
Learning the hard way, they punch, kick, and scream. This is their way of trying to reclaim the streets of the slum they live in, one of the most dangerous in the city. For years, the elderly women of Korogosho had been a soft target for rapists and robbers. Then they said enough is enough. They took up these basic martial arts classes to help them fight off unwanted attention. The tactic of hitting hard and shouting even harder has worked.
We say no because just screaming won't help. People will just think it's a domestic quarrel. But if you keep saying no, 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 people will listen.
We visited these grannies 4 years back at the height of the violence against them. We featured Mary Wangoi then. She has since had a stroke after losing 7 of her children, 3 of them to gang violence.
I get strength every time I come to this group. It has been a source of inspiration.
They may seem old and weak, but these women are by no means defenseless. They tell us that these classes have helped them in very scary situations, and no one here dares mess with the grandmothers of Korogosho anymore.
70-year-old Beatrice Nyariera was attacked at her home a couple of months ago.
I opened the door and hit him on the nose with my elbow. He fell, and then I stepped on him. And that's when he told me, "Don't kill me, Grandma." The commotion brought out my neighbor.
They all have frightening tales of their harsh lives in the slums. But as they go home after a session, they walk with a confident swagger, knowing that they now have more control over their lives and the environment they are in. Catherine Soy, Al Jazeera, Nairobi.
Okay, so grandmothers gotta know how to fight, man. When you in Mommy Africa.
Reporters head to the Russian Republic of Chechnya, ruled by Muslim strongmen.
And the subjugation of women. Because of you, people are talking about. And head to the neighboring.
1 in 5 victims of sexual assaults.
The radical.
And pursue.
This is an uncertain future.
Now, it's probably not an activity you would expect a group of elderly women to pursue, but these Kenyan grandmothers in a Nairobi slum are taking self-defense classes. This is because in Kenya, 1 in 5 victims of sexual assaults is a woman aged over 60. Their attackers preying on older women because they're believed to less likely have HIV.
That's
Christ, man.
That's your life when that's your life without gliders. son, woman, man. That's your life without gliders, man. And I promise you it is. Like, I promise you, because remember what she said. Now, I want to see if you caught it, what she said, because it's very important for you to understand that if you can't get this, we can't really go any further. That's why I want to make sure. If hit one if you heard it.
Now, it's probably not an activity you would expect a group of elderly women to pursue, but these Kenyan grandmothers in a Nairobi slum are taking self-defense classes. This is because in Kenya, 1 in 5 victims of sexual assaults is a woman aged over 60. Their attackers preying on older women because they're believed to less likely have HIV.
Did you hear it? Hit one if you got it.
Scientific method. There you go.
They're not. They're gonna rape somebody, but they're choosing older women because they're less likely to have HIV. Not that the rapes would stop. So if the HIV rates were lower than the rest of the population, they would just rape those people. But because it's higher in that other part of the population, they're forced to rape the older women. Salute to Maihana Confidential. I have pro-white gliders that I'm friends with who are also against race mixing. I believe her. She knows what she's talking about. Oh, I believe her. I just don't think she would say it on camera. And I don't think with her face out there. I just don't believe it. This is Al Jazeera, super woke channel, Al Jazeera. But they have to report this because this is the news in Kenya. This is what's going on.
Now, it's probably not an activity you would expect a group of elderly women to pursue, but these Kenyan grandmothers in a Nairobi slum are
What he dropped?
I think so. Probably back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll commute it.
My bad. I accidentally pressed the wrong button. Yeah, this is the news on that side of the world. The news is the news, man. I'm sure you guys glad I covered fucking New Orleans and fucking St. Louis and not this shit. How much of this shit could you take, man?
Now, it's probably not.
Hold on, let me read this super chat. Salute to Mad Peace. Mad Peace says, I finally got the night off. I respect this show more than ABL, Brandon Tatum, and Candace Owens put together. I still love them all, but Ock Nation is where my heart belongs. Salute. Now, listen, let me just say this right quick. Shout out to ABL. Shout out to Brandon Tatum and Candace. They're going to do their real work during the election season. They all have close to 1 million subs, and they can get reach get the black conservative talking points out there, and they can hopefully help you guys, you conservatives get in the White House. Salute to all those people, man. They doing the Lord's work, man. But yeah, no one compares to this show, man. It just is what it is. And salute to all the panelists and all the all-stars and everybody supporting the channel.
Now, it's probably not an activity you would expect a group of elderly women to pursue, but these Kenyan grandmothers in a Nairobi slum are taking self-defense classes. This is because in Kenya, 1 in 5 victims of sexual assaults is a woman aged over 60. Their attackers preying on older women because they're believed to less likely have HIV. Our team on the ground sent us this report.
In front of a crowd of elderly spectators, Jane is simulating an assault.
No, 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 no!
She's teaching the club self-defense.
If
someone comes to assault you, to attack you, they could also want to rape you. You must not stay silent. I myself was a victim of rape. I was assaulted in 2007. 6 months later, a woman offered me self-defense lessons. At that time, several women spoke up and told me that they had experienced the same thing.
The group was formed from these meetings. In the slum of Corogocho, attacks are frequent and no one is safe. Every month, the self-defense course welcomes students aged 75 to 100 in a room usually used to dry clothes. Regardless of their fitness levels, the ladies take part in some physical activity. They learn how to summon the courage to call for help in the event of assault, often committed by much younger men.
Young men go after older women because they think they won't have sexually transmitted infections. That's why they wait around for us in the slum, to attack us.
This subject is extremely taboo. Getting together allows the women to talk about it. Njoki has been living alone since her husband died 2 years ago. This makes her vulnerable.
I thank God. Thanks to him, I'm well. And I was able to learn a lot of things. In particular, how to protect myself.
After class, Njoki's walk home is just a few meters. But at night, it is easy for an intruder to pass through the thin metal door. That's what happened to her a few weeks ago, but she managed to scare the attacker away.
The other women and children should learn what we've been taught so that they can protect themselves as well.
She says the number of violent incidents has decreased in Corogocho thanks to the self-defense courses. She hopes that similar projects will now spread across Kenya.
Now, she was a pioneer in her field with her.
Why do you think they did that long shot on this little girl? Anybody?
To show that it was going to happen to her anyway.
Huh?
It shows that it's showing that she stands a chance to get raped. If they have the old woman as an option.
What's up with her hair, though? You know, like weaving?
No, they braided it, then they kept it straight.
Salute to Miles Ruckendorf, man. He says, since we're in South Africa, look up South Africa farm attack in Kill the Boer song. Kill the Boer song. Oh, Kill the Boer song.
Good night, y'all. I'm going to get out of here.
All right, man. You take it easy, man.
All right, good night.
All right. Y'all have a good rest of your weekend.
Yeah, you too, man.
Sure.
Right, let's take you to the Free State now, where tensions are high in Kestel. The community is seething with anger as they demand the law to take its course against 2 men accused of killing people at a local farm. Kamohelo Mutankisi and Lerato Selepe appeared before the Kestel Magistrates Court yesterday, where Mutankisi pleaded guilty for the charges. Moloko Moloto is in Kestel, and he joins us now live to give us more details. Moloko, yesterday the court appearance of the 2 men accused of this crime happened. Exactly what are community members telling you about the Free State and crimes at farms in that province?
Hello, Marcelo. Just a little bit of an update. We actually have now moved over to Harris Smith. We are at Tebe Hospital mortuary. This is where the family members of the deceased earlier on formally.
See, they slow walking it, man. I wonder what What's happening, man, over
For
here?
staying with us, this is the South African Morning. The time now being 19 minutes after 7. Let's give you this story now. A Western Cape farmer's employees are currently reeling following his murder. 53-year-old Hendrik Pistorius' body was found half covered by a bin on his farm in Piketberg just yesterday. Now, the local farming community is currently in shock. This while government is calling on the police to move swiftly to find his killers. ENC's Monique Montlark has the story.
This road leads to the Piketberg farm, where Hendrik Pistorius' body was discovered by his workers on the morning of the 3rd of August. His body was found half covered by a bin. While workers did not wish to speak on camera, they say they are devastated by the employer's death. Police say Pistorius suffered blunt force trauma to the head. His family issued a short statement saying their hearts are broken over losing their adventurous youngest son. The brutal murder has shocked the farming community.
It's a small community, a small town, but a large farming community. And
So the farmers out there are gliders. What percent of the farmers are gliders out there?
Most of them.
Jesus.
Look up the protest they're planning for tomorrow. I can't remember the name of the party, but they're saying they want to shut down all commerce between, I think, like Johannesburg and Cape Town or something like that.
Hold on, let me just do this and then we'll get to that.
You can relax. Are you everybody feel okay? Whoa! Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on! Come on!
If you want to cultivate the land in South Africa, say these farmers, this is the sort of training you need. A 2-week tactical survival course run by a former member of the Israeli Special.
You notice how everybody who's around Sunmen need training in self-defense. Are you noticing that? Hit one if you're noticing that, man. And shout out to Sunmen, man, because we really be putting pressure on motherfuckers, man. We have pressure. Man, we be putting pressure. You gotta learn, and this is coming to America too. Don't get it twisted. This
It's already here.
Coming to America, man.
It's already here, Ak.
Everybody who's anywhere around us, whether you're fucking 8 to 80, you gotta know how to fucking fight and defend yourself. That is, I mean, and I know this is gonna sound kind of fucked up, and I really don't give a shit, because we weren't meant to be in this multicultural society. We were only meant to be around each other. We evolved around each other. We were secluded by the desert. That desert kept us, we were secluded. We didn't, this survival, the way we are, this is our fucking gift, our skill. If you can't defend yourself, you can't be around us, Jack.
A 2-week tactical survival course run by a former member of the Israeli Special Forces. Idan Abolnik is teaching this group how to ward off or neutralize the enemy, a self-described practical guide to staying alive.
They're here because they want to make a difference. They want to defend their life, to feel more secure for the family and for them.
And his pupils claim plenty of real-world experience.
I've been attacked myself, and these attackers were trained very well. So and I got shot in my face, and you can see the marks over there. And I got stabbed 9 times by a knife, but I survived it.
It's personal accounts like these that fuel the sense of fear.
Fight!
And people like Marley Swanepoel think they're being targeted because they're white.
They think. What do you think about that, fisherman? They only think it's because they're white.
No, they know they're different. Dude, you gotta, if you're white in South Africa, you have to be hard. Like you can, there's no room for, like, I know South African whites. They're not the same type of white people. Like they have, there's no room for, like, you know, listening. Like they will kill you over there. Like everyone, they killed tens of thousands of gliders over there just on a whim.
Yeah, I see that, man. Salute to JL. He says, you, Marcy, and Wicked could be my neighbors. All I care about is if you're a good person and if you believe in the golden rule. Thanks for presenting the news that others won't cover. Yeah, salute to you, man. Yeah, I think I'm a decent neighbor, man. I pretty much stay to myself, man.
Much appreciated.
Yeah, I pretty much stay to myself, man. And I think that the best neighbor is the one that stays to his fucking self. Yeah, but if I catch you outside while I'm getting the mail or I'm playing with my daughter, I'll give you a hey, what's up, man? How you doing? But I pretty much stay to myself, man.
Or hey, neighbor.
Yeah. Salute to the freshmen, man, from across the pond, man. We getting a lot of love from across the pond, man. South Africa should be warning the U.S. This is the future of gliders in the U.S. I think you're a little bit away from this. I don't think you could get here fast, but a U.S. version of this, whatever the U.S. system, because remember, sons run the government in South Africa. Sons don't run the government. There's one black governor. There's three, and I say that quote unquote black senators, and about 30 black congressmen, and there's 2 on the Supreme Court. In South Africa, it's like 100% son all across the board.
Yeah, it's law. This whole they would enslave us. Like that's what they did over there. Basically, they fired every glider doing almost anything over there.
Yeah, so it's like I don't think you gliders don't have to worry about this, but there'll be a version of this that the U.S. system will allow.
Sense of fear. And people like Marley Swanepoel think they're being targeted because they're white.
Good.
It's pretty intense, isn't it?
This is not intense. What's happening in our country?
Everyone hear me, come here.
And I get very emotional about it.
What is happening in South Africa?
Our people are getting murdered, tortured. Our old people who can't defend themselves are being burned with cooking oil.
The numbers just rising by the day. It's rising by.
They cook the old people in cooking oil. They fry them up. They frying up old gliders over there, man. See what I'm saying? Look, over here we just play the knockout game with elderly gliders, man. We don't put them in big vats of cooking oil and fry them up like chicken, So I mean, it's different, man.
Cooking oil.
The numbers just.
Cooking oil.
The numbers just rising by the day. It's rising by. You are always worried that you will be the next.
Crime stalks the lives of all South Africans, but farmers feel particularly vulnerable. 74 were killed last year, according to official statistics, although many think the true picture is worse.
Those farm attacks are brutal, and usually they don't steal anything. So there's something, we don't know what it is, but they are just getting murdered, and then they leave.
But blacks are also victims of brutal crimes. 2 white farmers tried to seal this 20-year-old into a coffin. The farmers were convicted of attempted murder last year.
Crime happens to everyone. It's criminality that is happening in the farms, and we have always condemned it. But this crime does not only happen to white farmers, it also happened to black farm workers.
The case lit a fuse and drew large protests at court. White farmers own vast tracts of land in South Africa and receive little sympathy.
The white people's quality of life in this country is at its highest. They live a first world lifestyle in a third world country. And the majority of the population lives a third world lifestyle in a third world country. And that majority is the blacks.
So the ruling ANC is taking drastic action. They've adopted a new policy called land expropriation without compensation. A decision that deeply worries people like Philip Potgieter. He's a fourth-generation farmer in the hills of Limpopo.
It's worrying because promises are being made to the masses. And you don't want to make promises to the masses and not deliver. So currently, it's a boiling pot. We grew year by year.
Mr. Potgieter took us for a tour of his avocado and nut farm. It's a profitable business, employing hundreds of local people, and he's not prepared to hand it over.
It's in our blood, our ancestors, our fathers, grandfathers. This is what we were born to do. I mean, where do I go? I can't just pack up here and leave everything we've done here.
This farm is already subject to 4 claims filed by community groups who say the land originally belonged to them. And the official overseeing the process says Mr. Potgieter will have to come to the table.
What do you say to a guy who owns land that's been in the family for 4 or 5 generations?
There's nothing we can do, but we can put you through the process together with the community until we find a way out of this, because it needs to happen. So if it needs to happen, you cannot say, you cannot claim my land. No, you cannot say that. What you can say, it has to happen.
The government says land will be redistributed because the stability of the nation depends on it.
That nation will fall the fuck apart if they do that.
And it was all by design.
Land redistribution doesn't even matter if you're white. Taking somebody else's shit and giving it to another person has never worked anywhere. Look at what happened in Russia. It's exactly what fucking Stalin did. He took people's fucking shit and gave it to other people, and the country went to hell.
Yeah, I mean, too. Uganda.
Yeah. Look up Mr. Smith returns to his farm. That's in Zimbabwe. That's funny.
Mr. Smith returns to his farm.
Mr. Smart. Sorry, not Smith. Smart. Mr. Smart.
This is the global. You said this is the Dutch thing that's going on. The protest.
No, it's in South Africa. Tomorrow they're supposed to have a protest. I can't remember the guy.
It's gotta be Julius Mandela. It's probably the EFF.
It's Malema.
Yeah, Malema. The Economic Freedom Force.
They're trying to shut down all commerce through like the main route in South Africa. Like nothing's supposed to move. Because they want a different sun government. They want to take out the current sun government and put in a different sun government. And so they're literally just going to burn everything between like the 2 major cities.
The farmer's gonna need a lot of ammunition.
Yeah, if there's lawlessness, those farmers are going to be definitely targeted, man, because it's going to be, the police are going to be stretched thin. More
involved.
Yeah, true indeed. Let's see this shit.
Apart from bilateral engagements with South Africa's longtime ally, Tanzania,
we will not allow those who want to spread anarchy to do what they like here in South Africa. We are a constitutional democracy. Yesterday, we had a meeting of our National Security Council, and we discussed this. And the security forces of our country are going to defend our people. They are going to make sure that intimidation, anarchy, and disorder does not prevail. But those who want to protest, by all means, you protest peacefully. But if you are going to restrict the rights of other people, if you are going to coerce them, if you are going to intimidate them and unleash violence, our security forces are going to defend the people of South Africa.
The Minister of Electricity, who has recently visited Eskom's power stations, also weighed in, saying he understands the anger of South Africans over load shedding.
And like I said, I'm going to come back to the public and announce to them what are these.
Hey, rough out there in them streets, man.
They're doing load shedding, which means that they are having to limit the amount of time that you have access to electricity during the day, because they're not doing maintenance and keeping up with the power grid, and they're losing power supply plants.
Wow.
So basically, you might have electricity for like 12 hours out of a day instead of all the time.
That's what happens when you kick out all the people that know what they're doing. You know?
They literally fired everyone, mostly gliders, that were in these highly complex professional positions throughout society, and then they just put people in there, like their relatives or whoever they felt like, and it is coming to roost.
Yeah, it's like think about your house. Like, if you didn't have a fucking, like, things are gonna work fine until you need a fucking plumber. You know? And that's the problem. You don't have the guy with the skill, and that's what they did. They got rid of all the people with the skills to maintain that shit, and it worked for a little while. And now it's fucked up.
There's actually an element of sons in South Africa that want to go back to gliders running everything.
Of course.
Like, they're gaining like some political traction.
Of course. You need gliders running shit. Like, this is not a society that we created.
Like they've lost their some of their airlines and their trains and a lot of their water treatment and stuff like that.
Make sure you give me another city. Let's go back to the United States of America, man. Let's give me
Detroit.
one city in America, man.
Detroit, Michigan.
Detroit. Oh God.
His son man was playing. He was brutally beat by cops.
We did that yesterday. That was what the.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, we did that yesterday. That's what the show was about. You got a lot of feedback.
That was so crazy.
You got a lot of feedback, man.
How about Oakland?
We did Oakland not too long ago, man. A couple of days ago. So let's try to spread it around, man. Let's try to spread it around, man. We did Oakland like maybe 2 days ago.
Houston.
We did Houston the other day.
Oh.
Yeah, we did Houston. Houston was
What's the most glider heavy city in the country? Do that. Anything left?
The most glider city in the country. Is there anything left? Let's see. Vermont. Let's do Vermont, man.
Burlington, Vermont.
Yeah, man. Let's see what's going on, because we just exposed Maine. Maine is done, man. It's a wrap. Maine is done. Finito. Put a fucking fork in Maine. Hopefully y'all got oh shit, this is Vermont. Jesus.
Hope you got all
man
locked.
waking up behind bars in Vermont in connection with the fatal shooting in Rutland.
Trayvon Kisling.
A New York man waking up behind bars in Vermont in connection with the fatal shooting in Rutland. That happened back in November. Police say this man you see here, 18-year-old Trayvon Kisling from Staten Island, was arrested as a murder suspect in the killing of Jonathan Naranjo. Naranjo was shot and killed on November 7th of last year. They arrested Kissling at a Shell station in Brandon yesterday afternoon. He pled not guilty to charges of first-degree murder, aggravated assault, and obstruction of justice. He's being held without bail.
Yikes, that's a rough way to start off Vermont, man. Let's hope it gets better, man. Let's hope Vermont is getting a little bit better.
Well, tonight, Burlington City Council taking steps to support the LGBTQ plus community, and it comes after concerns about hate speech in the city.
NBC5's Sid Boulay joins us now from the newsroom with the message we're expecting to hear tonight. Sid.
Alice, Bryan, the city and concerned citizens have already been doing their part, taking matters into their own hands to get rid of hateful stickers for the past few months. But now the city council is looking to take it one step further.
Transphobia is not welcome in Burlington.
That's the message going before Burlington City Council as they consider a resolution aimed at supporting the queer community and condemning transphobia.
A member of the queer community myself, it is deeply important to me that my queer and trans siblings feel seen, they feel heard, and they feel protected by the city.
The resolution resulting in part from stickers with transphobic messaging found in public places.
Unwelcoming messages in parks, around the schools in the area, even around the pediatrician offices, places where kids would be.
Part of what the resolution calls for is observing Trans Day of Visibility on March 31st each.
It's not going well, Vermont, man. Vermont, man, it is not going good.
I like that one guy. I'm part of the LGBT. Yeah, we know. You don't have to tell us.
Yeah, man.
We already know.
Shout out to Society of Benevolence, Op Nation Hall of Famer, man, coming through. Salute to you.
See, but notice how they're not telling you what the messages even were.
Because it wasn't.
Because it wasn't. It was probably like there's only two genders or some shit.
Yeah.
And notice how they frame this as hateful. They don't frame it as like if they don't frame it like, oh, if you protest this stuff, then you're actually saving civil society. No, you're being hateful.
Yep. Salute the Platinum Pig, Op Nation Hall of Famer. Good news is that South Africa got rid of their nuclear weapons. Like just in time.
Yeah, I told you that. Remember? They had they were the whites that were building nukes, and then when they realized that they were going to lose control, they disbanded all of it.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. We had to do. We're definitely going to
shoot a nuke down the block at the ops.
Without a doubt, we couldn't listen. We would use that shit like within the first year
for
against
hunting.
another African country. No, against another African country. And we wouldn't use that shit against no European country. We use that shit against another African country. Salute to Chesley, aka Chum. He says, haven't done Minneapolis St. Paul in a minute. Yeah, man. We might have to go to Minneapolis St. Paul next, man, before we get out of here, man. Salute to Ryu Mu Entertainment. Hey, look up South Africa's White Slums video. The joint is sad. I know most African Americans wouldn't care a lick, but I don't know how anyone could wish that on their enemies. Vengeance is a hell of a thing. Yeah, we'll have to get into the South African slums in another episode, man. Salute.
Those are the cleanest slums you've ever seen.
Yeah, man. It's not looking good here in Vermont. Let's see. Let's see if there's any bright spots here in Vermont, man. Wow. I mean, I knew it was bad, but my God. Okay.
Now to St. Johnsbury, where two people from Peacham pleading not guilty to charges related to a kidnapping that happened last Friday.
NBC5's John Hawks has more on what happened in court today.
45-year-old Mac Furnham and 37-year-old Nicole Cloutier in court today, facing charges of attempted first-degree murder, kidnapping, unlawful restraint, and aggravated domestic assault. Police say on Thursday, Farnham and Cloutier picked up a victim in Farnham's truck in Peacham after getting into a dispute about drugs. Their connection, they all lived together.
It seemed that Ms. Cloutier and Mr. Farnham were a bit more of a romantic type relationship, but all three of them were living in the house at the same time.
They allegedly bound the victim's hands with duct tape and put a bag over her head. According to court documents, she told police she couldn't breathe or move.
Mr. Varnum said he was going to pour gasoline on her and burn her. In the affidavit, it is offered as the reason for all of this is that Ms. had stolen an AR-15 from Mr. Varnum and sold it to a drug dealer for $300.
At one point, Varnum stopped at a gas station to buy gloves and more duct tape. According to police, Varnum threatened to kill the victim. The prosecutor is saying that he was upset with her for other reasons, too.
She'd also used his truck earlier in the day to buy some drugs, and Mr. Varnum was not happy with that. And there was a bit of an altercation at the house before the abduction took place.
But the victim was left alone in the truck and was able to drive away and ended up in St. Johnsbury. She was taken to the hospital and treated and released. Varnum and Cloutier arrested at Varnum's home Friday. Both defendants.
And listen, man, I have no problem with this. You want me to tell you why? Crime in Vermont is supposed to look like this. This is what Vermont crime is supposed to look like. Fucking piece of shit gliders committing crime amongst their people. This should be the dregs of white Vermont society, doing crime in Vermont. I have no problem with this. There's crime everywhere. This is what it should look like in Vermont.
Defendants pleading not guilty to kidnapping, unlawful restraint, and aggravated assault charges.
24-hour rule and entered not guilty pleas to all three charges.
Varnum faces an attempted first-degree murder charge. He's due in court on Tuesday to answer for that. Both are being held without bail at Northeast Regional Correction Center.
I certainly feel there's plenty of probable cause for the charges as filed.
In St. Johnsbury, John Hawks, NBC5 News.
Yeah, I have a problem with that. Those should be the people doing the crime in fucking Vermont. Shouldn't be no fucking Sunmen in Vermont. Man, stay your ass in New York. Fucking Boston or some shit. These white people, let these white people have their shit, man. These white people have their fucking little fucking area, man, where they can just live their fucking lives, man, however the fuck they want to live. Wow. Unfucking believable.
Vermont State Police arresting 2 people for allegedly stealing firearms from.
Why is the news lady in Vermont a fucking sister? The fuck? Why? Who is she? Like, what demographic is she representing? What, like, it's like 95.5% white up there. Why do you need a sister news anchor?
All these little news stations have been bought up by bigger networks, and then they push out their woke corporate stuff down to their new subsidiaries.
Black mayor too? Oh my God. Doug Chunk says, who'd have thought? Drugs are a hell of a drug. Yeah, man. This is what should be going on up there, and white people doing the crime. Shouldn't be no sons up here doing no fucking crime.
From a Waterbury gun shop. Police say 31-year-old Michael Ulrich and Carly Shields, both from Morristown, were at Perro's gun shop earlier this month with the firearms. That launched an investigation into the guns that were stolen that day. They are due in court today. Governor Kathy Hochul.
All right. Somebody said Minneapolis, St. Paul.
It's just amazing how drug use just shows up in your face, man.
Yeah, I mean,
it's just like
those
shit
fucking,
fucks you up, man.
Those gliders are degenerates, man. All those, and I have no problem with them doing crime in their area. I just don't like seeing some people in these little fucking areas just fucking. What the fuck are we doing out there, bringing crime? Because we gonna bring a whole different level of that shit. You guys ain't seen shit If you think that's bad, wait till we come out there.
Well, happening today, the 16-year-old accused of killing a fellow Harding High School student is facing a judge today.
Prosecutors are asking that teen be charged as an adult. Bill Keller is live in St. Paul with the very latest. Good morning, Bill.
Good morning, Hannah and Alex. In fact, Fox 9 is not naming this teenage suspect who has been charged with second-degree murder yet for the stabbing death, the deadly stabbing of 15-year-old Devin Scott. Well, later this morning, Ramsey County prosecutors, they will ask a judge that 16-year-old be certified as an adult for the deadly altercation that took place inside Harding High School last month. According to the felony juvenile petition, the two students got into a fight in the school hallway, and as staff members were trying to break it up, one of the boys pulled out a knife, fatally stabbing a fellow student. In his initial court appearance, the judge said there is, quote, significant evidence to support probable cause in this case, but being charged as an adult is not a guarantee. In fact, a recent case over in Hennepin County highlights that not all juveniles are tried as adults, even in murder cases. Now, as for this St. Paul teen charged with homicide, the 16-year-old has been in juvenile lockup. That's been going on since he was arrested last month. His adult certification hearing set for 30 minutes from now, 8:30 this morning.
See, that's the type of shit you have is when you have sons, teenagers getting murked in the school in non-school shooting incidents. Like, this ain't no big thing. This is just a regular fight. Son team pulled out a gun, a knife, and shot the motherfucker. Let's see.
Prosecutors and defense attorneys have struck a deal for a teenager accused of murder, 2 years at a juvenile correctional facility.
The teen is one of two brothers.
See, that's what I'm talking about. 2 years for murder. That's what I'm talking about. That's Blackistan. 2 years for murder.
Prosecutors and defense attorneys have struck a deal for a teenager accused of murder, 2 years at a juvenile correctional facility.
The teen is one of two brothers police say murdered a woman last fall. Our Karen Scullen has more, as today the judge signed off on the deal, saying she was just following the law.
Zaria McKeever was shot and killed in November in Brooklyn Park. Charges against the 17-year-old show that he and his brother were carrying out the wishes of their adult friend, who is the father of Zaria McKeever's 1-year-old daughter. He was angry that she had a new boyfriend. Now, normally a case of felony murder involving a juvenile would have the Hennepin County Attorney's Office asking the court to certify them as an adult. Former Hennepin County Attorney Mike Freeman was doing that, but he retired and Mary Moriarty was elected. She decided to
Look at the new fucking DA. Look at this fucking old butch white woman, man. A bull dyke. Jesus Christ. Went from this fucking guy to a fucking bull dyke.
the court to certify them as
An elderly bull dyke.
as an adult. Former Hennepin County Attorney Mike Freeman was doing that, but he retired and Mary Moriarty was elected. She decided against the certification and instead brought forward a deal that includes 2 years at a juvenile correction facility, 30 days home monitoring upon release, and then probation until 21.
For a hit on a mom, a hit on a mom.
Another leftist. Same story.
Yeah. The excuse is always, well, your frontal lobes aren't developed yet, so you don't know right from wrong. It's like, man, I fucking knew right from wrong. The fuck are these people talking about, man?
Right. Yeah. And I don't even think that's the argument. I don't think that's the argument. I think the argument here is that they're sons, man. I think that's the argument.
Yeah, that's the only argument. They're black.
Hey, man, I want you to go kill my ex-girlfriend because she got a new boyfriend. All right. Bang. 2 years.
But I think we're overthinking it because it says they can never possess a gun or ammunition. So, of course, they're going to be perfect citizens after this.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, they can never possess a gun or ammunition. So yeah,
That
so
solves it all.
Yeah, that solves it all. And they should also put in there that they can never kill anybody again too. But yeah.
Instead, brought forward a deal that includes 2 years at a juvenile correction facility, 30 days home monitoring upon release, and then probation until 21. There is a stayed 150-month sentence. If he violates conditions, he will go to prison. Today, the judge said the law is that if both parties agree on a deal, the court has to accept it. Zaria's family says prosecutors are ignoring the fact that the teens made a clear choice.
He inserted himself. He had an opportunity to turn around, to change his mind, but he willfully did this act on his own. He didn't have to do it.
Now, there was a lot of confusion in court today. Charges show that the 17-year-old admitted that the adult friend gave his younger brother the gun and that he and his brother went to the apartment to shoot the new boyfriend. However, today in court, the teen said they went there to beat up the new boyfriend and that he didn't know his brother had a gun and that they were told the boyfriend was abusing the 1-year-old.
We're going to get justice for Zaria. It might not have happened today, but it will happen.
One way or the other.
Zaria's sister says the plea deal just doesn't make sense.
There's also cases where we know that she tried teens as an adult for lesser crimes. So it's just a political gain at this point.
Why have we ruined Tiffany? Last night we saw Tiffany spelled Tiphne. I promise you. Tiphne. Now we have Tiffynie.
I find it incredible that they give a plea deal to these two criminals, and they believe, and when they switch, they believe their stories switch up. Like they can't, like they're incapable of lying.
Yeah, I mean, they just believe whatever is their sons. You have to believe them.
Those for lesser crime.
Hashtag believe all sons.
So it's just a political gain at this point.
Hennepin County Attorney Mary Moriarty released this statement. Zaria's death was a devastating tragedy, and I'm deeply sorry to Zaria's family for their loss and continued pain. I know they are disappointed in our decision on this case. We promise.
But fuck you. We gotta fucking look out for the Sun teens.
To continue to seek justice for Zaria's murder as we aggressively prosecute the adult who orchestrated this horrific event. Now it's unclear when the 15-year-old, the alleged triggerman in this case, will actually be in court, but I'm told it should be in the coming days. In Minneapolis, Karen.
Yeah, notice how these left-wing people had no problem taking away their right to bear arms for the rest of their life.
No, like they love having victims.
Yeah, they had no problem with that.
They need people to be helpless.
Yeah. Yeah. It's fucked up, man. This is.
Why even bother to worry about the adult? Don't even worry about the adult. Worry about the ones. They should drop the hammer on those teens. They send a message to other teens that want to follow in their footsteps.
Yeah, they got to drop the hammer on all of them.
The thing is, if they put priority on the adults that sent them, it's like it's taken away from their ability to make decisions on their own, to actually go out. They actually went out there and did the murder themselves. So basically, it's like listen, someone may want to give you orders, but if you're going to actually follow on those orders, then you're going to have hell to pay.
Yeah, they got to go after all of them. Like, as far as I understand, if you pay somebody to do a crime, you're equally as liable as you did it yourself. And the reason for that is to avoid people from, paying other people to do shit.
I mean, I get that, but I get that, but ultimately, the punishment must be more severe for the person who actually took the money and decided to do it overall. Because they have to send a message to anyone who even considered doing the same thing with someone else. If someone else made them an offer like that, it's like ultimately, you took them. Yeah, we could punish the person who paid you, but you ultimately took the money. So clearly, you didn't care about the person that you sought out to hurt because you took the money and then you hurt them.
I don't even think there was no money. I think this was just influence. Like this guy just had influence over those guys.
I mean, I believe so too. That's what I said. Why do they choose to believe these clear murderers? Why do they want to choose them?
The sons. Your sons, man.
I hate. Well, I
Problem
hate
is,
it.
you
I
gotta
hate it.
have if it was just influence, man, they're gonna have some evidence against this guy. Like if there was a paper trail, but if there's no paper trail and these two kids are just saying that he did it, I don't know what they're gonna do to him.
Yeah.
It has been almost 2 years since Trinity Addison Smith was shot and killed while jumping on a trampoline in North Minneapolis. The tragic, unintended victim of a gang-related drive-by shooting. Today, a step toward justice for Trinity's family as the man accused of shooting her pled guilty.
Carla Holt talked with community activist KG Wilson about what this step means for him and other families still waiting for answers. Carla?
Well, Julie and Randy, as an activist, KG Wilson pleaded for this day to come. As a grandfather, he's still pleading for answers of his own.
She was an angel.
For nearly 2 years, KG Wilson has raised his voice,
Biggest smile.
sharing as an activist,
She
pleading as a grandfather.
took my heart with her. She took my heart with her.
Back in May 2021, stray bullets struck 3 innocent children, killing 2 of them.
This is what Vermont you will have in Vermont if sons come there. Teenagers and little kids just getting killed all the fucking time. Along with a fucking wellspring. A goddamn fucking plethora of son men getting killed in the streets.
Man, this is so bad with these thugs. Sometimes I just think they should start a movement to ask them to please aim at the kids. You hit everything else.
She took my heart with her.
Back in May 2021, stray bullets struck 3 innocent children, killing 2 of them, 9-year-old Trinity Addison Smith and 6-year-old Anaya Allen, the granddaughter of KG.
It's almost like made us family, you know.
From days waiting at the hospital to investigations yielding mixed results, KG says the families of the 3 children share a nearly unthinkable bond.
We have been brought to together from the tragedy, from the tears, from the hurt.
Which is why this day
Got justice for you, baby.
feels personal for KG.
Got justice.
Dupree Sharif Robinson will spend more than 37 years in prison after pleading guilty to shooting Trinity.
Now that's a good sentence. I can, 37 years. Okay.
Doc, did you see? Did you see the amount of the award or reward on that poster, on that billboard?
How much was it?
Pretty big.
Wow. Yeah. That's what it takes, man. Because sons ain't gonna give them no information, man. 37 years, I can do that. I can do 37 years for him.
They said the dude was an activist. It's like, it makes you wonder, what the fuck were you bitching about before this happened?
Oh no, he was an anti-gun violence act. He was against this shit. He was bitching about this shit.
Robinson will spend more than 37 years in prison after pleading guilty to shooting Trinity in May 2021. Hennepin County Attorney Mary Moriarty says she hopes Robinson's admission brings some closure to Trinity's family and the community. And KG, the activist, agrees.
Thank God somebody told something.
But even amid the gratitude, a realization, this grandfather still longs for justice of his own.
I get to see what justice for an innocent child looks like. I don't know what it feels like, but I know what it looks like, just hope.
But KG says that hope is only possible if those who know what happened have the courage to stand up and talk. He said he'll keep fighting for that day in honor of his granddaughter and other children just like her. Randy and Julie.
All right. Thank you, Carla.
This is the difference between some fucking tweakers stealing some fucking guns or some tweakers fucking arguing over some fucking dope. This is what you get when you get sons, man. It's a big difference. Salute to everybody, man. Great show, man. I'm out.